And we're coming down in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by
Mark.
Shane Washable.
Nay.
The bad guy Souls.
The Mass Massey.
And the Red Baron.
No!
He puts it up.
Wow.
How do we determine like whose takeoff is the right takeoff?
You know, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. One was really loud.
I exploded right out of the
I
gate.
got a lot riding on this game.
Well, you know, I think it's got to be the one that holds true. And I've crashed the majority of shows.
I don't think you've ever not crashed.
Usually it's the end of the show when we're like, the beginning, we give you the benefit of the doubt.
Nah, I've been crashing it right out of the gate.
Yeah, it's been rough.
Because I noticed there were shows where I was forgetting to crash, but other people crashed you. So if I crash you out of the gate, you always die every show.
Yeah.
You're the Kenny Sunkist of our show.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Ken Blankenship.
I could be
Did no one watch that show on Spike 2, that MXC show?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't think I've ever...
That show is so funny. No one watched that?
What show is it?
The MXC.
Nah.
It was on Spike TV. Like,
You ever watch Last Man Standing on Fox?
Hold on. So this show, it was like a Asian version of that Wipeout show.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
they dubbed over the announcers.
It was the one where they had to like fit the body in the shape, right?
Yeah. Kendall, the show is so far up your alley.
I'll have to check it out. I imagine
man.
it's not on anymore, but...
Oh, YouTube it. It's so funny.
Speaking of YouTube, I would like everybody who's present at the show today, I'd like you to remain after for a quick 6-minute YouTube video I need to show you.
All right.
The Mass is the only one who won't get it. Everyone else will laugh very much.
All dogs go to heaven.
Which you haven't watched yet. Nope. Just put it on.
Souls, what are you drinking?
Today I'm drinking Sip of Sunshine IPA. It's Lawson's finest. Just letting you know that now. I wasn't expecting to go first today.
So this is amazing.
It is a India Pale Ale, if you haven't noticed yet.
Mark Sheen?
I have from Back East Brewery the Infinite Universe IPA. On the bottom of the can, which is very funny, it says to infinity and beyond. Shout out.
Mass, Chris Massey?
From Victory Brewing in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, I am drinking the Twisted Monkey.
What kind of beer is it?
I have no idea.
It says it right underneath Twisted Monkey.
It's a Belgian-style blonde ale with mango, which is my second least favorite fruit.
Oh, can you give us a quick monkey noise, Mass?
Ooh, ah, ah.
It's delicious.
Not a lot of
eh?
enthusiasm. Mass, you're so good at the things like I would hope you to be good at.
Souls and I have been watching a lot of Home Improvement lately.
You know what's funny? That show is so good, but it's so terrible.
Oh, I love it.
It's a lot of dirty jokes, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of like sexual innuendos in there, and like Wilson's hilarious.
Oh.
Anyway,
More of his face in the earlier
Red
episodes.
Baron. I know everyone's thrown off because no one's really quite sure if we're on air or not. But what are you
Oh,
drinking?
goodness. What an oversight.
Guy doesn't have one beer before the show. Whole thing falls off the rails.
From Spencer, Monk's IPA. It's an American Trappist.
Yep.
It's very cool, very regal looking can. I'm up my alley.
Where's it from?
It is from brewed and canned by the Spencer Brewery Company, Spencer, Massachusetts.
Now, have you know that's the only brewery they make a lot of like Trappist quads and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
really heavy Belgian style beers. That's the only brewery that's not located in Belgium that's authorized to make Trappist ales.
Really?
Yep.
Wow! And until this
So they're
exact
big.
moment,
They're big deal.
I had no idea what that even was. I'd never heard of Trappist anything.
I'm drinking from the Two Roads Brewery in Stratford, Connecticut. Lil Juicy. It is a DDHNE IPA.
Say it again.
A DDHNE IPA.
There we go.
Say it again.
DDHNE IPA.
Backwards.
APIENHDD.
Works for me.
It's a double dry hop New England IPA.
Nice.
Toast? Souls? All right, fine. Mock?
My toast is to the New York Jets getting that first win. Take
right.
that, Dallas.
I got one for you. My toast is to the Washington Redskins for getting their first win.
Theirs doesn't count.
Well, it counts for them.
Someone had to win that game,
I saw.
It could have ended in a 0-0 tie.
which would have been hilarious.
Wasn't very clever,
Or
but
like
I
a
laughed.
2-2 tie.
I laughed
Both
pretty
like
hard.
high snaps out of the back of the end zone.
Right in. So the winner of the toilet bowl was the Redskins. Not very funny, but I enjoyed it.
Well, it was the Tank Bowl.
Oh, tank bowl
Yeah.
for
Get on the fucking
For like an
swag,
upper
dude.
decker. I got you.
there we go.
Come on, Ken.
Mass?
Toast of excellence, as much as it pains me to say it, is to the Seahawks for the best touchdown celebration yesterday, which was the bye 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 from NSYNC, and it was very, very well executed.
Who ran train on that?
Gianna Michaels.
Was it Will Disley?
Yeah, sad. Good thing I traded for that guy.
Hey, me too.
You're welcome, Mug.
Fuck Pat.
Traded him away.
It's a shame. It's a real shame.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? I think that's it, right? We could toast them, crack.
Did you say what yours was?
Oh no, I did not. Actually, I'm glad.
I
you
don't think
Kendall?
Kendall.
Well, Kendall, didn't you just say yours was the toilet bowl?
No, I was just laughing about that.
I thought that was yours. I thought he stole yours. Oh, sorry.
No,
Go
no,
ahead,
no.
Kendall.
But it's Justin Verlander moving up to the second place all-time postseason strikeout leader, passing Andy Pettit with 183. So very cool.
Very cool.
Go Justin Verlander.
Is yours to Ben Simmons?
Nah, dude. Mine is to the. You didn't do the zoom in there. Could you give
Yep,
me?
no, I
Oh
didn't.
man, just lost. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Come on, you're absolutely garbage at this stuff.
Yeah, real bad at it.
That's just. Could you screenshot that? Send that to me.
I can.
What is that?
Nothing. Mine is to the New Jersey Devils for really just making everyone's hopes and dreams just fall out of the toilet. They are the Cleveland Browns of the NHL.
Like a fall out of the toilet.
Everyone was just like, "Oh my God, look at this team! They got Jack Hughes, PK Subban." It's like,
Wait, they got who?
PK Subban.
So good.
Love it.
Now we
Love
can
it.
crack them.
Crack 'em.
Snap, crackle, pop.
That's a rat turd in mine.
So I saw something today that I wanted to buy for Mock, but it was they were all damaged, so it wasn't really worth the $5. But I was at Savers today, which for those of you sophisticated folk, Savers is like a Goodwill but blacker. But they do like hodgepodge like bags where there's just crap in there for stuff. So they had a Bell's and a Heineken can koozie, as well as a New York Giants flask.
That's pretty cool.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
I have two of those, and they only come out once a year.
The New York Giants flasks. So this was it was a Heineken and a Bell's can koozie,
That's cool.
and then there was the New York Giants flask, and it was $5. But the koozies were all like destroyed.
So I own 3 flasks, and they all always come out at the same time.
Black Friday shopping.
Black Friday.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the time of the year they come out?
Yeah, because we usually just end up at Foxwoods. At the Tanger outlets.
Fair enough.
Tanqueray outlets.
I think it
know
was
how we end up there.
last year. I think it was just me, Kyle, and Pat. And
Yeah.
and we went up there, and we were playing roulette at this area in Foxwoods where the dealers are behind like a DJ booth, and they're dancing to music while they play the game, and it's hilarious. Because the guy we had looked like Jim Gaffigan. Yeah, we were there so late, so late. No one bought anything.
I lost money.
Yeah, Kyle was actually handing out money to gamble with.
There you go.
He's like, "Hey, here's $20." All right,
Kyle's like he's not a gambling addict, but when you get him in the right environment,
he is.
you could see it.
Like you could see it developing.
Yeah. So I'm totaling up scores from our.
Oh, that had a pretty good fart earlier.
Okay.
What happened to it?
I made Mock laugh.
It tickled me pink.
Oh, and it happened.
Yeah, it's already
You didn't
gone.
hear it?
Right
Oh, it's
before we
hysterical.
cracked the beers.
Like, you honestly didn't hear it?
No.
Yeah,
The
it was,
microphones picked it up.
it was
Can't believe I
hysterical.
missed it.
It was pretty loud.
Can you do it again?
I don't know if I really want to total anybody else's. I'm pretty sure Kyle won this week in our divisional pick'em thing. Well,
Besides,
he had Matt Ryan, Christian McCaffrey, and Austin Hooper.
yeah, okay.
Come on, really?
Well,
Yeah, you probably
do you
won.
want to dive into the game recaps?
Yeah, let's do it. Matt, why don't you take care of it today?
All right. So starting off on Thursday night, we had the
Put some pep in your step.
New York Football Giants.
No, I don't want you to be like from a different country.
Listen, we don't need an accent. You're not
New York
Italian.
football-
Yeah, the New York Giants. They fight to the Patriots and they lose. No, I don't want that.
Yeah, that did in fact happen.
They fought the fucking Patriots, yeah?
What are you, an Irishman?
All right, this is fine. From now on, I want you and Souls to tag team this. I want you to give the home team accent, and I want him to give the away team accent from the cities in which
This
they hail.
is not going to happen.
We'll
So
do it 1 week.
Yeah, we brought the baked beans.
the Giants went into Foxborough attempting to knock off the Patriots.
Did they?
Instead, they knocked themselves up.
Oh,
For the first half, things were looking decently close. Giants defense seems like it was flummoxing Brady a little bit. Caused a turnover.
This guy's got a way better vocabulary than me.
Then the second half came, and the Giants didn't score again. Jones looked a little shaken. Then again, he was playing with ghost of a receiving core. Who's their best wide receiver now? Golden Tate.
We had Golden Tate.
Yeah.
The best memes came up from this loss, though. Like the one of him looking like Daniel Jones looking disheveled, and Eli with like the coat on or whatever, and it's like, I don't know if you know this, boy, but we beat the Patriots around here.
Final score 35-14 Patriots. Patriots advanced to 5-0. Giants are down 2-4. I think you guys are only
We're a game out.
a game out in the division, which just goes to speak for that division.
Yeah, how competitive it is.
Then kicking off Sunday, 9 a.m. in London, Panthers and Buccaneers. The final score, 37-26, suggests this game was a lot closer than it really was. Panthers gave Winston all he could handle all day long. I think he ended up throwing 3 interceptions,
Five.
interceptions.
400
We had
yards.
400 yards.
400 yards, though. 5 interceptions, 400 yards, fumbled twice. It was not a good day at the office for Jameis. Panthers just rolled. Panthers continue to show that they're not quite out of it as long as Kyle Allen's there. Gives questions for Cam Newton in the future.
I think Cam Newton lost his job.
trade him.
I think he's
Well,
done.
they said
He's done in
like
Carolina.
10 teams. Like,
He's done. How do you go back to him? This kid's won 4 straight. Is it 4 or 5?
He's won 4 straight.
4 straight.
first of all, Christian McCaffrey won 4 games.
But it doesn't matter. This kid went in and is
He
winning
hasn't
games.
lost them.
He's winning games. I think Cam's all done in Carolina.
I do too, which you tell people that 3 years ago, people call you fucking
Yeah,
crazy,
I mean,
but
Cam. I mean, keep in mind he was a guy poised to look like the next best quarterback in the league, and just hasn't lived up to it.
Yeah. Well, after the Super Bowl, it kind of just derailed for him. Just,
got hurt and never came back from it.
Wow.
Yeah. Up next, we had the Seattle Seahawks at the Cleveland Browns.
That was so gay.
Yeah.
Not the game, the way you said it.
Yeah, I know. Again, Browns having their troubles, continuing on their roller coaster, keep looking like they're going to come back, and then they don't. Final score 32-28. I don't think the Seahawks ever really lost control of this game.
they were down
They were down
decently in the beginning.
but once they did, or once they came back, I mean, there
Then
was
they
no
decided,
question.
hey, Chris Carson ran the ball like a beast again.
Yeah.
I tell you, the more the season goes on, I think Russell Wilson's the best quarterback in the league this year.
I wouldn't disagree with
he
that.
yet to throw a pick, correct? Or has he thrown?
I don't think he has.
He has not thrown a pick yet this season. But speaking of the next game,
Well, hold on. Baker keeps throwing picks.
Baker
Yeah,
does
he's-
keep throwing
He's
picks.
throwing them in bunches.
Hold on. All right. We're gonna give a timer.
just had to
We're
sprinkle that
gonna give a timer of 30 seconds. Kyle, go ahead.
About what, man? We talk about this every week. The Browns are underperforming. Everyone thought they were going to be a lot better than what they were. But, they lost their best offensive lineman. It shows. Their defense is not as good as everyone thought they were. You got a sophomore year slump out of Denzel Ward.
I don't know that they're not as good as everybody thinks. They're missing 2 of their top corners for going on, 3 weeks straight now?
And it's the pass protection that's not there. Because
Right.
Nick Chubb is still playing at a high level.
Yep.
So it's just the pass protection isn't there. It's just...
Greg, holding offense number 73, Robinson, is on that line. You're always going to have issues. All right.
To pick in the draft.
Yes, he was.
Good job, Rams.
Yeah, no kidding. At least we got Aaron Donald that draft is a consolation pick, so I'm all right with the trade-off. Next game, Texans and Chiefs. Final score, 31-24 Texans. Hand the Chiefs their second straight loss.
There's some serious momentum shifts coming in the Riddler ranking power rankings.
Bum, bum, bum.
Mahomes throws his first interception of the year. Looks
No,
like...
he threw a pick last week against the Colts.
No, this
No, he
this
didn't.
week was his first
I
pick.
thought he threw it against the
He
Colts.
just got banged up a lot.
Yeah.
He sucks ass.
Texans looked phenomenal, but then again, it's hard not to against that Chiefs defense.
Well, Texans have looked good all year.
Yes, but again, it's hard not to
Yeah.
against that defense. Tyreek Hill came back in a pronounced way, had what I might consider the play of the week with that catch over up into the end zone. Just a beautiful snag out of the air. I think he elevated like 3 feet. Glorious.
Glorious.
Glorious. But Chiefs continue to have defensive struggles, and I think it's going to take them out of a lot more games down the line if they don't do something to address it before the trade deadline.
Team figured him out.
Well, we're seeing less of, Mahomes taking over games and just, balling out, as they say. It's been
I
more,
think he's playing hurt, too.
more
He is.
conservative
That
play.
ankle is hurting him.
I don't know if it's that. I think it's they're getting 5 yards a rush, then another 5 yard. So they're running it down their throat, time ticking away.
Yep.
If they have
Keep-
the 3 and out,
Keep the ball
They're
out of
screwed.
keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands. You win the game.
they're literally screwed. Because
Defense ain't gonna win them the game.
the defense is trash.
Yeah.
And
All
the
right.
secondary and pass defense.
Yes.
Wow. And rush defense.
Up next, we had the most electrifying game of the week in the Miami Dolphins and the Washington Redskins.
That's right. The Rock was there.
Final score 17-16 Dolphins.
Dolphins almost tied it at the end.
Almost tied it.
I know, they could have tied it.
I think that just speaks to the fact that the Dolphins may or may not be striving for that number 1 overall pick. But story of the game, who cares? It was that kind of game.
Well, what's funny? If they wanted to keep intact their winless record and by that going for 2, that's like a huge middle finger to like the fans.
It's just kind of funny.
Everyone who paid to go to that game that day, like, hey, look, we're gonna play for overtime. Nope. But that's not really what happened, but it would just be funny if that was their intention.
Which, funny, strong word. I don't know if it's funny, but it's definitely something.
The one thing, though, that was a bright spot, that rookie receiver for the Redskins is pretty good.
Yes.
Does he have a name?
Trey McLaurin. I was getting there, but Matt said yes. Moving off.
Ruined the flow of the conversation.
Who
My
was the
apologies.
quarterback for it? Was it Keenum?
Yes.
Should have been Colt McCoy.
So are they just not going to play Haskins?
He's apparently the future, and they don't want to risk him.
Yeah,
That was a quote from the interim head coach, who I can't remember who it is.
I guess I get it, but
And, I miss who's interim coach for Redskins. That excuse me,
Ryan Callahan.
is it?
they really want Mike Tomlin.
I saw that.
See the thing, they would give him complete control.
I thought that was interesting. Imagine that, a coach trade.
We've seen that happen before,
Give
haven't
us a
we?
second round pick. Please.
That's not going to happen.
All right, moving on. Next game, the Philadelphia Eagles at the Minnesota Vikings. Final score 20-38 Vikings. Big story. Stephon Diggs bitches enough, catches 3 touchdowns, gets 167 yards on the day. I believe that Kirk Cousins' record against winning teams now is 6-21, which is just very funny to me. But
See, that's another thing. I like. Yes, we know Diggs was complaining like publicly, but this was also a team that last year was passing the ball abundantly, and then this year Cousins was averaging like 11 passes a game. So I could see why the passing weapons were getting frustrated. But I mean, finally, I think he had 30-ish attempts.
Kirk Cousins went 22 for 29 for 333 yards and 4
I think
touchdowns.
it's just their game plan week to week. Because they know that the Eagles' secondary is hurt.
But here, I mean, what did Dalvin Cook have? Numbers
Dalvin Cook
rushing.
Let's see. Let me go into the box score real quick. Dalvin Cook was not even the leading rusher.
See, so that's why I mean he was getting stuff so they didn't just stick to it. They changed the plan up and started airing the ball out, and they have probably the best 1-2 combo at receiver in the league. So I mean they have to throw the ball.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Like, why complaining when you're winning?
It was weird too how he was complaining. Because it wasn't like he was out there saying, throw me the ball. It was just kind of like he wasn't saying anything. Then like the trade thing happened, he would like smile. You know, like he wasn't really saying anything with words.
That nonverbal communication.
It was his eyes. But yeah, I mean that offense can be explosive if they throw the ball. Sorry, go on.
All right. Moving on. New Orleans Saints go into Jacksonville, in which I consider to probably be the second most boring game of the week, in 13-6 victory for the Saints. Teddy Bridgewater goes 24 for 36 for 240 yards. Fournette averages, I think, 5 yards a carry. Thomas gets 10 yards a catch. He went 8 receptions for 89 yards. Not a whole lot of firepower in this game. A lot of defense.
Saints went ugly, just like they probably planned.
But, I mean,
So now there's another one. I mean, Bridgewater, now has won 4 straight?
Yep. 4 straight starts.
So if Breeze re-signs and plays again, is Bridgewater on the Saints next year? Because, I mean, this guy, he's proving he can win in the NFL still.
Did Teddy only sign a 1-year deal?
It was either a 1 or 2. I'm not sure. But I know Breeze, I'm pretty sure this is the last year of his contract. So, I mean, if they keep him, I don't see...
Here's the thing. Like, besides, the Dolphins and the Redskins, you're looking at it, what team really needs a quarterback?
Chicago.
Well, you got Cincinnati.
Yeah, but you don't think they're just going to draft one?
You got Tennessee.
They could. But again, I mean, you could draft one, or you can sign a guy that's winning games in the NFL right now.
You got Tennessee. You got the Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks would be a good one.
Well, I think you need a team that's kind of in a position of like, hey, we're basically there in order to fit somebody as a proven winner into that.
Could be the like you said, the Bucks.
It could be the Bucks. I don't see it being the Titans. They pretty much have that same quarterback now, just sucks more.
But I mean, really, yes, you can always go out and draft a quarterback, but would you rather trade or sign someone that's winning right now?
You're in. If you're the Bucks, I can see you signing one. If you're like the Dolphins, you're going to draft him.
The Broncos could very easily go out and sign him. I know they have.
Even if you're the Dolphins, like I understand they want one of these young, the rookies coming up, but even with the number 1, you don't know what you're going to get.
You have all the draft picks. You got to take a quarterback.
But again, you don't. You could sign a Teddy Bridgewater and then draft pieces for him because that Dolphins team has nothing. There's nothing there. So I think they draft a quarterback, but if they go out and sign a Bridgewater, now you could go and draft a receiver, a running back, and defensive pieces, and kind of
and your mother
jumpstart the rebuild. It's just I think he can go and make a big impact on another team if he doesn't, if Breeze comes back. Maybe the Steelers could be the Steelers, Kyle.
I don't know.
It's odd. The Steelers are kind of in an interesting position themselves right now. But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
I want to make a motion for calling him just Ted Bridgewater.
Theodore.
Yeah, just
Theodore
let's,
Bridgewater.
Let's grow up here, Ted.
All right.
Dick.
Moving on. The Cincinnati Bengals go into Baltimore to try and knock off the Ravens and do not succeed. Final score, Ravens 23, Bengals 17.
Hung tough early, and that went away quickly. I was hopeful for him.
They start off the game with the kick return for a touchdown. and
That's
you're
what
like,
I mean. It's like, hey,
okay.
this is what you got to do. Let's...
And then the Ravens are like, hold on.
No.
You guys
Calm down now.
You guys are terrible.
Know your role.
The Bengals are just going to be bad all year.
Yeah.
Who's the worst team, the Bengals or the Dolphins?
Dolphins. We'll find out when they play each other.
Do they play each other?
They do.
Do they actually?
Yes.
Ugh,
Because the AFC North played the AFC East.
gross. All right, anybody want to throw in anything to this game? Because it's kind of what it sounds like. Ravens just kind of all
Yeah,
over the...
that's
See,
Bengals. They played well in the beginning.
23-17. They played with them. Raven defense is kind of a concerning factor for them. Because teams are scoring on them. It's not like they're dominating other offenses.
No.
Like they have in years past.
No, absolutely not. All right. We're going to mention the score of this game. We're going to move on. 49ers coming to Los Angeles for a home game. Knock off the Rams 20-7. And that's the final score. We don't need to talk about it again. Next game.
Nope.
Real quick, it's an interesting thing you said there about it seemed like a home game for the 49ers. There was a sea of red
Yeah.
in that crowd.
Yeah.
It was... 49ers are...
49ers are for real.
Oh, good. The defense is sharp.
They're not going to make mistakes.
No. 49ers are for real. But I will say that defense is what's carrying that team, not the offense.
Garoppolo, he threw a
Garoppolo?
pick, but Garoppolo, he's kind of a game
Threw a
manager,
pick,
isn't
dropped a
it?
fumble, didn't do anything to win them the game. That's the end of the story.
Yeah, and running back situation is pretty good, I guess, there in San Fran. They're doing a good job.
Got a good committee.
Yeah.
Biggest story is Rams are now without their starting left guard for the rest of the season. Tore his ACL.
Your left guard?
Yeah.
Nice. We're missing our right guard for the rest of the season. High five.
Everybody's
Playoff
left end for
contenders
rest
down the
of year.
toilet.
Exactly.
We'll see you. We'll see you in the mid-teens in the draft.
Perfect. Reload. Up next, Falcons at Cardinals. So, Falcons looking to get their second win of the season, come in and do not fall short at the end of the game trying to beat the Cardinals. Cardinals win 34-33.
Matt Bryan misses the extra point.
You know what's funny? They're getting beat for the majority of the game. Come back, give up the points late, drive down, score. It's just like it's.
I think his son was
lose?
depressed, like real disappointed.
I was telling Massey I had picked up Matt Bryant
I know.
in all my leagues for kicker. I said Sunday morning I saw he's been dropped by a billion teams. Like, oh, he must be hurt. So I dropped him, and I'm glad I did because that would have sucked.
Who'd you pick up instead?
Oh, just a bunch of people like the Seahawks kicker.
Like a bunch of kickers?
for all the leagues.
Oh,
I didn't. I like to stick with one guy, but I was like, you look good.
He also missed the field goal.
Did he?
Yeah.
Rats.
Matt Bryan just missed an extra point.
I don't care.
Yeah, but extra points are -5 when you miss.
Are they?
Yep.
Take that, souls. Hey, can you get my book out of the bag, please?
No.
It was a pass happy day because neither of the defenses were really stopping the ball in the air. Matt Ryan went 30 for 36 for 356 yards and 4 touchdowns. Kyler Murray went 27 for 37 for 340 yards and 3 touchdowns. Running games weren't really there. Devonta Freeman rushed for under 90 yards. David Johnson rushed for even less. He ran for 34.
is he
but-
hurt again?
David Johnson?
Yeah.
No.
I thought I saw something that he got hurt.
Austin Hooper led the day for the Falcons, though. Has the most catches by any tight end in the league right now, and I believe the most yards, too. Coming up in the end of his contract year. Interesting to see what happens with him.
Probably stay put.
But
Welcome to the Patriots.
Very fire-happy game between two meh teams, and the meh is team one out.
It's a dry heat mostly, though.
Yeah. Next game. Tennessee goes into Denver looking to get their third win. Does not happen. Broncos shut them out 16-0. Mariota ends up benched for the game. Tannehill comes in, I believe, in the third quarter. Ends up outperforming Mariota. And Broncos defense looked pretty good. I don't know if it was the Titans offense looking like crap, but their offensive line ain't looking great right now.
It was a good mix. Bless you.
I love the quote that Mike Vrabel gave at the end of the game, though. It was, how can you explain Mariota's decline since you've got here? And he goes, I guess I'm just not a very good coach.
Pretty much fact of the matter is
I suck.
Yeah, that was the end of that story.
Do you guys buy in that the Broncos trade away pieces before the deadline? Like defensive? Like, is Von Miller going to be traded?
Probably
No.
not. Garrett
Yeah, I
Wolf
don't know.
might be.
You don't think if a contender calls up for a first rounder, they don't move him?
For a first rounder? No, you're giving me more than that for Von Miller.
How old is he?
I don't think he's 30 yet.
Who wears fake glasses, so he can't be that good.
Because he was drafted the same year as Cam, so he's got to.
Von Miller is actually 30 years old, so he's 30 now.
Pretty good.
I would take more than a first round pick to give Von Miller up. I think that Chris Harris gets moved by the end of this, or by the trade deadline.
Well, for me, I think it's if one goes, then it's kind of like a fire sale. I think
Yeah.
if it's either all or none, if that is a thing, that's kind of the way I see it.
pretty much buy one get one free is what you're saying.
Yeah, a BOGO from
I'll
Denver.
pay for a BOGO right
Pretty
now.
much a little
Who's their
BOGO.
starting? Who's their starting left guard right now?
They don't have.
You don't
one
want
either.
any of those. They're not very good.
All right, let's wrap. Let's keep going.
All right.
We still got to get the fantasy shit and stuff before we go to break.
All right, we got two more games to go through. Cowboys go into New York trying to get above 5 or continue beyond 500. Do not get there. Get knocked off by the Jets for their first win, 24-22. Sam Darnold cemented his case for the MVP award. Cowboys
And the vitamin C award too.
Yeah, no kidding. Cowboys look like Jason Garrett got very upset that the offense.
Who the fuck let these two have a conversation on the mics?
You guys just let it happen.
I can out dad joke you.
Jason Garrett looked like he got jealous of the offense doing well, so he took the role back over and just ran the Cowboys' offense into the ground. They have not looked the same in the last couple of weeks.
You think if he loses next week, he gets fired?
No.
I don't think he lasts the whole season.
He's the white Marvin Lewis.
This is the guy.
He's in
Jerry
the last year
Jones
of his
came in and
contract.
fired Tom Landry
Still
on
the
his
white
first
Marvin
day.
Lewis.
He stuck with Jason Garrett for a decade. Jason Garrett makes it through the season.
Wait,
Hot take mass.
He's in the last year of his contract.
I don't think he gets retained after this year, but I don't think
But
he
here's
gets
the thing:
fired
you can't
mid-season.
really fire him because who's going to run the team when they're in the playoff race? Rob
Yeah, that's the thing. They're still in the playoff hunt. Like Big Whoop, they go 3-4, but if the Eagles lose, they're also 3-4. Like they're not losing to division opponents.
Well, one of them's got to win next week.
What I'm saying, okay, fine. I didn't know they were playing each other, so fuck off. But like, even if
Fuck you, Kyle.
if the Cowboys win that game, then they're what? They're going to be 3-0 in the division at just above 500.
Yeah.
And if they lose, they'll still be 2-1 in the division. So like a game behind. There's if the Eagles were like 5-1, are they gonna be different?
But they're not.
Right. Or if the Giants were 6-0?
Almost.
They could be.
Almost.
one win away, right?
Yeah.
Then we get to Sunday Night Football. Steelers go have a home game in L.A., knock off the Chargers 24-17.
I tell you, if I'm a Ram or a Charger, I'm pretty nervous about even when they complete my stadium.
Yeah.
Not playing in front of a home crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the Chargers, that was like the big talk for them last year. The Chargers, like, we feel like we play 16 road games every year.
Because they do.
Well, ever since I left San Diego.
Even the freaking Steelers Twitter, did you see that? they're like, we were told we landed in L.A. a couple hours ago. And then
Why is
they
there
just
so many
showed the
Steelers
stadium
fans
of
out
just-
there?
You know what's funny? The Chargers, they played Renegade in the stadium kind of as a prank, and it turned into Never Gonna Give You Up. So they tried to like roll the Steelers, but it didn't work. The Steelers fans just went nuts because they heard the intro to Renegade. So
Yeah,
Probably
Forrest
just took
Lamp
all,
was
they
not
probably just
about
took all the females there and was like, "Hey, just so you guys know, Ben's here, and if you don't put on the Steelers jersey, you know."
Don't go back to your hotel.
Steelers.
He was definitely there.
They said he wasn't there.
He probably wasn't on the sideline, but he was there.
Steelers
Prowling.
defense looked pretty good. Devin Bush. No. Do you have Devin Bush or Devin White?
Devin Bush.
You have Devin Bush. Devin Bush with 2 takeaways. Scored on one of them.
Well, the first one was more Phillip Rivers being a dummy.
No, that wasn't Phillip Rivers' fault.
Throwing it backwards? Yes,
To
it is.
to a running back who didn't catch it.
Because it was so far away from him.
He had his hands on it.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, 100% did.
No, he didn't.
I don't remember him touching the ball.
But you remember wrong then.
it was sloppy. Regardless, it was sloppy.
Anyways,
It was sloppy. It was a bad play, but should Phillip Rivers have thrown that ball? Probably not. But the running back, there's no way that he should have, and made no effort to get to it.
Which running back was it?
I think it was Eckler.
I don't remember. But it was funny. Bush initially was signaling for like incomplete. He's like, "Oh, wait a minute," and he scooped it up after the fact.
The only takeaway, the only like knock I have on Devin Bush from last night's game was just he's got to be careful. Because a lot of these young kids, especially at the linebacker position, they come in, especially when they have their big blow-up game, they start jawing. And that's what he did. He got in Keenan Allen's face and started jawing. He got a penalty against him and then missed 3 tackles on that entire drive. And it just
I agree.
it's a good way to look foolish. And people don't take you seriously when you start looking foolish like that. I'm not saying he's not a great player. I'm just not saying he's the next best talent at linebacker. He very well could be. But I'll never understand why a rookie would jaw their mouth to a veteran, especially when you're winning as big as you are. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I agree.
Well, you figure Bell and Brown left, so someone else got to step up,
Yeah.
take those reins.
Yeah, but Bell didn't actually.
Kyle, come on. Don't start analyzing the joke.
Well, here's where you went wrong.
Hock'em Sock'em Robots, they're
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Dropped a
Dropping
touchdown.
a touchdown.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good thing I didn't trade for him.
Oh,
So
well, our deal is off.
Anything else? Can I go into fantasy? We good?
go into fantasy.
All right. So as of right now, for the weekly division pick fantasy thing that we do, as of right now, we have the Mass as the loser because he didn't pick a team. So private stock. Nope, it's private stock, bud. It's private stock. We've been doing it every week.
I'll take private stock.
Coming in third as of right now is, or fourth as of right now is Kendall. But that's because Kendall has 80 points and the rest of his team is playing right now. So Kendall put up 80 points with Thielen, Diggs, and Dalvin Cook.
Wow.
And then he still has Aaron Rodgers, Matt Stafford, Marvin Jones, Jim Graham, Kerryon Johnson, and Prater going. So that could very, very easily change.
So no real Packers there, huh? Just Rodgers and Big James?
Yeah, I don't really like the Packers all that much. I just picked them for the quarterback.
Sitting
points.
in third is Maxine Washable, who had the I forgot the divisions. He had the AFC North. His big point getters were Lamar Jackson and Nick Chubb. And,
Chubb.
And James Conner. But he suffered the same fate I did. I came in second. Was he had a lot of big point getters and then a lot of like low single digit point getters.
Yep.
Which is what I did. I had the AFC West. My big point getters were Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Hunter Henry, and Denver's defense. But then again,
Hunter Henry.
a lot of guys that just did nothing. And then in first place, as of right now, is Kyle Souls, who picked the NFC South. His big point getters were kind of just everybody. Everybody did really well. I mean, his only single point guy was Will Lutz, but you'd expect that. And the Saints defense. But Hooper put up 25. Evans and Jones both put up 18. McCaffrey put up 21. Matt Ryan put up 38. So Winston had 17. So just good day at the office for Kyle. But he has 178 points. If Kendall can manage to put up 100 points or 99 points with his guys tonight, see what happens.
Fingers crossed.
Did you say 190?
No, 99. I said
I was
100.
going to say, oh my God.
I got a lot of negatives.
I do have to. Unfortunately, I do have to keep the the score. Hopefully this game moves along quickly so we can do our picks on the show. But, yeah. So as of right now, Kyle would be in first place, but Kendall looking to creep his way up through the rankings.
Well, he's the right guy to creep.
Mm-hmm.
Damn good.
And then moving on to the Getting Sports with Drunk League. Actually, both Getting Sports with Drunk Leagues. So we're going to start off with the GSWD Bush League.
Which one?
There's only one GSWD Bush League, and that's the hockey.
Oh, okay.
Fantasy hockey. And the reason I named it that, I know it confused Mock. I don't know if it confused anybody else. But in hockey, like the beer leagues, they're called Bush Leagues. Like that's in hockey when you like take a cheap shot at someone, they call it a Bush League move. Like that's
Yeah.
But so we had the first week set in the books. So in first place is J-Mart with team name Moves Like Jaeger. I think that's Jeff, right?
Yeah, moves like Yager.
Yeah, he went 10-3-1 for a total of 21 points. Then in second place was Feel the Burns, which is Mock.
Nope.
No. Who's Feel the Burns? Mass?
No.
Souls?
Jeff is Feel the Burns.
Who's Moves Like Jaeger?
Moves like Yager is
Oh, okay.
Chris.
Well, Jesus Christ, you guys are fucking 3 people over there sitting on their phones just fucking
No,
texting.
I'm looking at it now.
So, the Mass is in first place at 10-3-1 with 20 points. Jeff's in second place at 8-4-2 with 18 points. I'm in third place at 8-5-1 with 17. The Red Baron is 5-8-1 with 11. Krug Crew
That's me.
is Mock at 4-8-2 with 10 points. And last place is Kyle Soul's team. The only one, we got to come up with some fun names. But is at 3-10-1.
I don't understand fantasy hockey at all. Because every time I check it, nobody is playing that day. Every time I check it, it's no game.
Well, it's because it's still the beginning of the season.
No, I know.
So there's like a lot of like loophole type of things. Like but it's kind of like baseball. Like everybody plays on the weekends, and people take stretches off during the week. Now, the one thing in hockey that you're going to get that's going to really fuck with you guys as we get in the middle of the season is hockey has bye weeks.
Yeah.
So there's weeks where teams just don't play. Hockey is the same thing as baseball, though. So our scoring goes, Kyle's already destroying me in a lot of these things. But it goes in goals, assists, plus minus, power play points, shorthanded points, game-winning goals, face-offs won, hits, and blocks. So obviously in all of those you want the bigger numbers. The bigger number wins. In the goaltenders categories, there's wins. Obviously you want the highest number. Your goals against average, you want the lowest number on that. Your saves, you want the highest number. And then your save percentage, you want the highest number. So that's really how it works. Mock, I looked into it. I'm going to continue to look into it. I haven't found a way to change the wires where if you pick somebody up, you play them that day. It's the same thing in hockey.
But it's just so fun. Like, I'm telling you, I check it every morning.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it. And every time it's just no games, pretty much all the way down. I'm like, all right, I'll be back tomorrow.
So, Mock, did you decline my trade?
No, I think it's just pending.
No, it's not on my thing anymore.
Oh, I never declined it. Maybe it just
So
expired.
we have to talk and see if this is something you want to do. Because it probably did expire, you piece of
Just
shit.
give him Taze, man.
Listen, it's
All right.
not that I don't want to give up.
Moving on
Taves.
to the
I
Getting
don't wanna
Sports with
trade
Drunk
Kucherov.
Football League. Starting up first, we had Carry On My Wayward Son beating Macaroni and Breeze. Bullshit. She only won because Amari Cooper and Emmanuel Sanders
She's a
both
name thief.
left in the first minute of each game. Up next was Chris's team losing to Eric's team, 124 to 108. Third on the chart was Kyle Soul's team, currently losing 128 to 137 to the Masses team. But he has people going tonight, Prater and Jones. He's projected to win as of right now.
Actually, I have Galladay and Jones in that.
Okay, whatever. Tyler's team got absolutely demolished by the Geiss's Loose B, 135 to 69. And Hakam Sakam Robots came up short against Roger Dodger, 118 to 154. And that will only get bigger. So there you have it.
Team was so bad.
Whose?
My brother's.
Yeah, but I'm in last.
No, it's just how his team performed. It's just funny.
I can't fucking catch a break. Everyone keeps getting injured. I lost my quarterbacks to start the year, traded for a quarterback. My receivers got injured.
Well, while we're on the topic, you want to do pickups?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do that.
So, had a bit of a jump around again in the standings here. In first place is Down with Mock. I believe that's
Talib's
Kyle.
on IR too? I don't know. That's right.
Kyle's at a 45 and 30. Then Just Win Baby is 43-32 in second place. Nose Picker is in third at 42-33. I am tied there at 42-33. The Mass is 36-29, and Jeff bringing up the rear, 27-48.
He's getting to 500. He'll get there.
I don't think Mass did any picks this week.
Mass did not. He completely forgot, and he thought he did.
Did you lose in every fantasy thing this week?
Not everyone.
So real quick before we go off to break, we're gonna go to break. I just want to. I brought a decoration for the room that I wanted to share with you guys.
Oh, he's taking his shirt off. Oh my God, Mass is taking his shirt off. Oh my God, they're hugging.
All right, so I got this. I didn't buy it. I got it for the show. I think you guys will appreciate it. Not nearly as much as I will, but
Oh, we should stand up. You should use the other mic.
This one.
Just kind of walk around with it.
Hold on, I'm gonna figure out. Is it a lemon?
It's not even
It's
plugged
not even
in.
plugged
No, it's not plugged
Well,
in.
there's the other one there.
All right, guys, you ready? Can I get everyone just to close their eyes?
All right,
I
eyes are
don't want
closed.
you guys to see it. I'm serious. Please keep your eyes closed.
Eyes are closed.
Riveting radio.
You guys can talk with your eyes closed.
I can't. Never
I'll
learned
fall
how.
over.
Is it too late to give up on my season?
Shut up.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, yes. I didn't even know he was a sponsor. We have here a J. Cutler Dos Equis.
It says unofficial beer sponsor of Quarterback Beer Sneaks.
Hey, he's throwing that ball to Bud Light.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
That's pretty good. I like that.
That's hilarious.
Can we put him next to John? Can they be friends?
That would be a lethal duo. All right, so we're going to go to break. We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to cover the NBA Western Conference. If you missed last week's show, we did a kind of a season preview breakdown of the NBA's Eastern Conference, and Souls is going to take the reins on the Western Conference.
Correcto mundo.
And, yeah, we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes.
And now, back to getting sports with Drunk on the PPRN Radio Network.
Welcome back to Getting Sports with Drunk. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler, and I'm joined by
Assholes?
Mock.
Degenerates.
Matches of
Nope.
porn.
Are we on? I didn't hear the buzzer. Are we back?
Oh, we're back.
Are we better than ever?
No, we are.
We're about as average as ever.
We knew where we were at.
Hey, we got a new special guest in the studio, though. Paul, tell him who's joining us.
Jay Cutler,
He was
the
he
Dos
wasn't busy.
Equis college football
It was
sponsor.
awesome. He showed up just before the break. He sat down, and I feel really great about
Well,
it.
he's standing.
All right, so since he's the college sponsor, one guest around the room, where did he go?
Tulane.
Vanderbilt.
All right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Can
Did
I
you
guess
actually
again?
guess?
I think I knew that.
Okay.
Wake Forest.
Basically the same
again.
thing.
Caltech.
No.
How'd you know that?
You know what? It's funny. I don't know.
That's the one you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a guess, but I feel like I knew that.
Well, you wouldn't have guessed Vanderbilt if you didn't know.
I thought Kyle looked at me funny because he was like, "That's a basketball school."
It's a better basketball school, but
Speaking of basketball,
Oh man, I made a mistake.
Killer segue.
I told you about this a week ago.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it, did you?
I read. I just don't remember a fucking thing I read.
You guys are all worthless.
thanks.
Except you, Paul.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, we'll remember that, Kyle.
Well,
Just
I told
wait.
you this a week ago. Actually, 7 weeks ago.
It was not 7 weeks.
2.
You don't even know what you were doing 7 weeks ago.
Probably
He
worked.
was on the show.
Yeah.
I was asleep in my recliner,
Probably that, too.
hand in my pants.
Yeah.
Watching some wiffle ball.
It would be something. It would be like a draft class, like an NBA draft video.
From like 2008.
I was gonna say 09.
Because I fell asleep too?
Well, no, you searched it, but it kind of progressed. You know what I
I
mean?
wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, you would.
I've landed
No,
on
usually
it.
what happens is Kyle starts watching like NBA 2K like rebuild videos or something like that, and then when you go in he falls asleep to that about 2:00 in the morning, and then at 8 in the morning when you go into his room, there's like some like mid 2000s All-Star game on. It's usually like 03 somewhere in
It
there.
circles back to like a previously viewed video.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so last week, as I said before the break, we broke down kind of like our preseason like breakdown predictions, what we kind of see and expect from the teams For the Eastern Conference, this week we're going to do the Western Conference.
Correcto mundo.
So we are going to start with one of the biggest question marks going into next season. Everyone's favorite team, the Phoenix Suns. They went 19-63 last year, which was good enough for the second worst record in basketball and worse in the Western Conference. Their projected depth chart for the start of the 2019 season is Ricky Rubio at point guard and Devin Booker at shooting guard, Kelly Oubre Jr. and Dario Saric at the forward positions, and DeAndre Ayton holding down the center. Notable backups include Michael Bridges, Aaron Baines, Tyler Johnson, and Frank Kaminsky.
They're going to be better.
Like 20 games better.
Yeah.
They're not going to win 39 games. They're going to win 20 games. They're going to go from
I
19.
think they'll win close to 30.
I don't know.
You got another year out of experience for Ayton. You actually got a point guard there, which they haven't had in forever.
But their bench is trash. Real bad. Their starting five isn't good. But their bench is even worse.
But they're better than...
Kyle, you're going to sit here and tell me Aaron Baines and Frank Kaminsky are going to make a difference on that team?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you see who they were last year?
Where they were?
Who they had? They had Dragon Bender.
Okay.
Dragon.
At least they had, one of those Avatar guys.
I guess. I don't know. I
Someone
think
who
they'll be
was
better.
really good at, yoga for dragons.
I think the addition of Rubio is going to actually give them something that they haven't had in a long time.
Yeah, a 30-plus point per game average from Devin Booker.
I'd like to talk Aaron Baines just for a second. Who is he?
He played for the Celtics.
Yeah, he's a white guy. He's a white, tall guy that played for the Celtics.
Okay. All right.
Kind of falls in that Kelly Olynyk but can't shoot threes category.
All right. I've heard the name before, and I've never put a name to a face.
He has a beard. Red beard. Kind of looks like you.
Oh, so am I just Aaron Baines?
For me, the thing I'm most excited
Stand
about,
up.
the biggest question for me is can Dario Saric kind of provide that spark that he did? Granted, it was off the bench more often, but can he get back to that kind of spark form he had in Philly? Because he just was not used, and when he was used, he didn't play well in
Yeah, he didn't
Minnesota.
fit Minnesota at all.
No, he just didn't fit in. It wasn't a good fit. The schemes were terrible. So can he kind of bring that back to fruition at a starting caliber position for the Phoenix Suns? He's going to get the playing time, but can he produce? We know what we have in Devin Booker and Kelly Oubre and Ricky Rubio. So can DeAndre Ayton take that next step at the center position, and can Dario Saric kind of return to form / improve upon?
And if they don't, they'll just be right where they are now. Suck.
Yeah.
Nothing. Very simple. They progress, they're better.
So, at any point, is it a lack of experience from being a young team? But it doesn't sound like it. It just...
Well, the Suns is just bad. Their coaching decisions have been bad.
Is there any positives for the team?
Yeah, they got Monty Williams now, who I think is a very good coach. He was the coach of the Pelicans a while ago, assistant for the Sixers. So he had pedigree of winning. He had pedigree of being a head coach.
Pedigree of Hunter Hearst.
Rather than the guy they picked last year, who I never even heard of. I don't happen to pronounce his name.
Pronounce his name.
Can't. I don't remember.
All right. We're done on Phoenix?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Dallas Mavericks. I'm going to be going from bottom to top here in the Western Conference because I don't remember how I did this last week. So I did it by divisions, but I did do it by divisions, which is how I wanted to do it this year. So this week. So hold on for a second. Kendall, why don't you tell me about Mock's first car?
Mock's first car? I think Mock's first car was it was the Subaru, I believe, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
I don't remember what year it was.
It was a
2002.
No. It was a 97.
97. It was
close.
black.
Yep.
Black.
Hit a rock once.
Gray bottom. I was going to say he beached it on a rock.
Hit a rock pretty good one time. Ever since then, the car pretty much went downhill.
Yeah. Now, you turned into the rock? Is that what happened?
So here's what happened. It was Souls and myself. We were leaving Vito's house, and a guy kind of cut me off around a turn.
I was looking at my phone trying to pick music.
Yep. And so I was looking at the radio, and when I looked back up, this guy was coming in front as we were turning. So I kind of swerved right, curb, rock. Car was done.
But didn't total it.
No, just bent the arm a bit, and then from there, a lot of things went wrong.
Then he got the other car, which was more impressive.
Ooh. Well, no, after that was the Jeep.
Yeah.
The Jeep was good.
No, you can put the key in.
No, that wasn't the Jeep.
No?
That was the Explorer. That was my favorite feature on any car.
Yeah, you take the key out of the ignition while you're driving.
While you're driving, you just rip the key out.
To crack a beer with the...
Yeah, pretty much. You can use the seatbelt thing as a bottle opener.
It doesn't get much better. It's the ultimate drinking driving machine. That car was sold.
Yes, $200.
That's it?
Yeah, are you kidding me? That car, the frame was so rotted. I don't know how it didn't break.
After you sold it, I saw that same model color, the Eddie Bauer edition.
Oh, it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Well, it was like the time. I think it was you that texted me from a Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
And you're like, hey, where are you?
Yeah.
I was with you.
That's right.
And I was like, that's not me.
Like,
That's
yes,
very
it is.
funny.
And now
All
we're
right,
at the
let's move on. Sacramento Kings. Last year they finished 39-43, which was good enough for 9th in the Western Conference, just missing I shouldn't say just missing the playoffs. They missed by a healthy margin of games, 9 to be exact. But needless to say, on the outside looking in, they were kind of in that heap of teams that was making a push. Their depth chart going into the predicted depth chart going into the season, their starting lineup, I should say, are De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield in the backcourt with Harrison Barnes and Marvin Bagley III as their forwards, and Dwayne Dedman locking down at the center position. All right, sold anytime now.
I thought you were going with the bench.
Oh, did you want me to do that again?
Yeah.
You want me to do it every time?
Yeah.
All right, Dick. Notable backups include Bogdan Bogdanovic, Trevor Ariza, Harry Giles III, Yogi Ferrell, and Corey Joseph.
I do like the Kings, but I think they're in the 9-8 spot. Again, the West is too deep. They're very young. They got some experience in there. But I don't think the talent level is compared to the other teams that are at the top.
Agreed. I think there is some improvement, like with Ariza, off the bench and whatnot, just as a veteran presence. I mean, there is depth. But I think 8-9 is appropriate for what they're going to finish at.
I do think Dwayne Dedman's an upgrade over Willie Cauley-Stein.
Yeah.
Because he can stretch the floor.
And it doesn't suck.
I like the backcourt very much, too. I love De'Aaron Fox, and I love Buddy Hield. They're very good together, as you saw last year. So, I honestly think they're in the 9-8 spot again. But I think, I don't know. It's just going to be tough.
Well, good. I was just gonna, what it boils down to, Kyle, and I think you said it already, is that it's just the West is just too good, and they're just another team in the mix.
Well, so basically the way I look at it is we're going to get to all these teams, but basically the way I look at it is if you look at the way the playoffs were last year for the Western Conference, eight teams that made it were Golden State, Denver, Portland, Houston, Utah, OKC, San Antonio, and the Clippers. Now, the two teams right on the outside looking in were the Lakers and the Kings, both who got better. Now, OKC, no secret, got way worse. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. So you have two teams kind of vying for that last spot. Now, there's a lot of hype about the Lakers kind of being on the top end of that playoff rotation, pushing other teams down, which would make it even harder for Sacramento to get into the playoff spot. But, you never know. Teams can, the way teams can fall down. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Spurs take a stumble. Who knows? But yeah, I agree with you. I think that they're kind of, for the time being, they're still kind of floating that 9 seed. Right now, I think that they're definitely better than the rest of the Western Conference outside of those playoff teams.
In a couple of years, they can probably get a superstar to come there.
Yeah. They're also going to be competing with the Pels, who got better.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I expect a lot out of you, Mark, when we get there. We'll start doing your research. We're not even close to them yet, so.
Hold on.
He's on a Wikipedia page right now.
So let's move on now to, we're going to stay in the same division, so we're going to move on to, we mentioned them, the Los Angeles Lakers. Last year they finished 37-45, which was good enough for 10th in the Western Conference. A lot of overhaul on the team this year. They kind of traded away all the young pieces, with the exception of Kyle Kuzma, and to acquire Anthony Davis. So their projected starting lineup going into the season is going to be Rondo and Danny Green in the backcourt with LeBron James and Anthony Davis at the forward positions and Dwight Howard at the center. And I clicked the wrong LA team for the bench. So if you give me a brief moment.
Classic Riddler move right there. And the wrong
Classic.
LA team bench.
So notable backups include Kyle Kuzma, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, JaVale McGee, and Avery Bradley.
I think they will make the playoffs, but I do not think they'll be as good as everyone thinks they are.
I agree. I think a lot of people are kind of hyping them up to be the 1 seed. I think everyone's just saying, now that LeBron and AD are together, they're the 1 seed. But there's a lot of balance in terms of the 2-star teams in the NBA right now. I do think that Rondo's kind of the perfect point guard though for that team because they don't need scoring from a point guard. Danny Green can kind of develop a little bit more of like a 3-and-D type mentality because they still don't have shooting, which is what they didn't have last year. But Danny Green gives them shooting, and so does Avery Bradley off the bench. It's a huge question mark as to what Dwight Howard's going to do. We just don't know. His last tenure with the Lakers wasn't good. Different team, different coach, different superstar.
If you even give him what the Hornets Dwight Howard was, it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, they have there was a lot of it going into it when they traded everybody to get AD. There was like, okay, well, who the fuck's the rest of your starting lineup and your bench? They did a pretty decent job rounding that out. Caldwell-Pope's not really going to turn a lot of heads. Neither is Quinn Cook. JaVale McGee is just going to be kind of a minutes guy. But like Kuzma, what are we going to get? Can he be that spark off the bench instead of that starting guy? Can he be the spark off the bench for that team? That kind of like sixth man that probably takes the minutes that from Rondo and Howard. Kind of be this Dwight Howard and Rondo, instead of playing your 25 to 35 minutes, they play 18 apiece and Kuzma plays 30 minutes.
See, in my opinion, I think what they should do is play LeBron at the 1. Davis at the 5, Kuzma at the 4. I didn't think that makes the team better, and it spaces it out a little bit more than what they have originally.
I'm not going to ever get behind the whole LeBron James playing the 1 thing. It's not going to be a thing for me.
Even Alex Caruso playing the 1, just to give that starting 5 a little more spacing. He could shoot a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because we know I think we can all agree that last year's Lakers team was definitely a disappointment. From not even that we anticipated them to be, they're going to win it all, but I think definitely there was a lot of high expectations.
A lot of people will attest to LeBron missing time for kind of the first time in his career, but I think the loss of Lonzo Ball really hurt that team more last year because not only did it get Lonzo Ball is not going to help them in their shooting by any means. He has not found his stroke. Hopefully that changes for him this year. But he is a tremendous perimeter defender. He's very physical when people are driving to the paint, and he is a great floor general. He'll always find the open man, and that's a very big thing to miss from your team. Very big.
If LeBron ends up missing time again this year, do you think AD is able to hold that team together or by himself?
Yeah, because he pretty much did that in New Orleans. He pretty much won games by himself in New Orleans. But it's just the fact of, I think that if LeBron has to miss time, they will become a 6-7 seed instead of a 3-4 seed.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm even buying them being a 3-4 seed with LeBron, to be honest with you. I really don't.
Where do you think they end up then?
I think they're the 6th seed no matter what.
I can get behind that. 6-5.
Just because of age, and I say age loosely, but
no, I just think
the rest of the team
better than them.
Just the rest of the team. There's no secret. Granted, it was only a year, but Danny Green was not in Toronto what he was in San Antonio. He was still good. He was still a good piece for that team, but he definitely wasn't. That was Spicy P and Kawhi, and Danny Green kind of took the back burner. Whereas in San Antonio, even when they had Duncan Parker and Ginobili, everybody was a role player by sorts. So it was a big deal. I just don't. Even if we see some productivity from Howard and like Bradley off the bench, even Kuzma, I haven't seen enough from consistency from anybody not named Anthony Davis and LeBron James to tell me that someone can take over the game. Because LeBron James likes to take games off for rest. We've seen that. Anthony Davis is going to probably do the same thing. So, like, they're probably never going to put it in a situation where they both take the same day off for rest. But what if LeBron kind of tweaks an ankle, and needs a day off?
Yeah.
And Anthony Davis is out for 4 or 5 games with a leg sprain or something like that. Is anybody else on that team, are they going to be consistently able to light it up? Is anybody on that team going to be able to drop 30 to help them beat the Clippers or help them beat Golden State, even Sacramento? I mean, there's a lot of well-rounded. It's not just that the West is so powerful. The reason the West is so powerful is because the West's teams are all well-rounded in their ability to score the basketball. Every single one of those teams that finished in the playoffs, and a few of them that didn't, had the ability to score from all 5 starting positions and had at least somebody off the bench that could give you 20 points. And that's just hard to do in the NBA. And that's why all the West teams are good, because all those West teams have it. Anything else anybody like to add on to the Lakers?
No.
Mock?
No, I mean, you kind of hit all the points there.
All your bullet points on your sheet over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to give Mock a chance sometime. Moving on to the other tenant in the Staples Center, the LA Clippers. Last year they finished with a 48-34 record, which was good enough to claw their way for the 8th seed in the West. They started off the season red hot. Kind of started to fall off a little bit, but then they kind of just decided, we're going to try to do a little bit of this rebuild thing now, so we're going to trade away Tobias Harris to a contending Philadelphia 76ers team that's looking for that push. They still stayed kind of hot, and then everyone knows what happened in the offseason. They went out and they acquired Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. So their projected starting lineup for the start of the season is Patrick Beverley and I always forget his name, Shamet. Kyle, what's Shamet's first name?
Landry
Shamet. So Patrick Beverley and Landry Shamet in the backcourt with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George as the forwards and Ivan Zubac as the center. And then notable players. Oh, I think I just unplugged the headphones by accident.
Did you?
I
You
think
guys
so.
there?
You guys lost your headphones too? Yeah. Notable bench guys are Montrezl Harrell, Maurice Harkless, Lou Williams, and JaMychal Green and Rodney McGruder. Oh, I forgot they have Patrick Patterson too.
Do they?
Yeah. I think as of right now, I don't know how accurate this is. I'm going off. These are the same sites I had loaded from last week. So
I do think that they are the best team in NBA.
in the NBA,
Yeah. I
Fair.
think they're very good defensively. They can shoot. They can score. They have probably the best 6-man in all of basketball.
yeah.
Montrezl Harrell proved to everybody last year that he's a bucket getter. He plays extra hard, and for his
Stumbling on your words here, buddy.
yeah, I can't think of the word I want to say.
So, you mind
Intensity.
if I step in?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna let you regroup for a second. I feel like the headphone shortage really fucked with you.
A little bit.
So,
I like the term bucket getter.
yeah. So you know what you have in Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. That's a fact. Their big question mark is going to be center. Can Ivica Zubac? He doesn't really have to do much, but can he give some level of consistency? Can he go out and give them 8 points and 12 rebounds a game? That's a big deal for them. That'll be a big deal if they can do that. Because, like you said, Montrezl Harrell, he plays with just as much heart as anybody else on the court, but he's not really someone built to play the 5.
No.
They don't really have somebody built to play the 5. I mean, they've got a foreign guy there in Mfiondu Kabingle.
He's not foreign, actually, which is funny.
He's foreign. He's just not.
Vanderbilt.
Florida State. Very close. I'll give you props.
Landry Shamet,
Transfer.
we need to see some consistency from him. But Patrick Beverley goes out. I mean, he is an absolute antagonizer.
They're the best defense in the NBA.
He's going to give everybody there an absolute fit at point guard, and Kawhi and Paul George can just interchange and take anybody that they want. Because Paul George has the physicality and the aggression to play someone like an Anthony Davis, and Kawhi Leonard has the reach and the quickness to play somebody like a Giannis. And then, like you said, Lou Williams, Maurice Harkless, and Montrezl Harrell all off the bench. Those are all just good defenders and good scorers. They're definitely the deepest team, in my opinion, in the NBA.
Also, they would be if they acquired Marcus Smart, they'd probably give up maybe 80 points a game.
Yeah.
Which is insane in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, it definitely provides, there's been teams as of late who've kind of gave Golden State a run for their money. I think this squad is a team that could really kind of, shake things up, for a really lame thing to say. But
Do you put them as the favorites out of the West?
Yeah.
I put them as the favorites in the NBA. I agree with Kyle.
Kawhi's going to win another one. Then he's going to opt out and
Go to a different team. Win one with another team that's never won a championship.
Pretty cool legacy, though.
Win 13 rings with 13 different teams that have never won a ring. Retires right before he goes to New Orleans.
You got one more in you, Kawhi? Nah, man.
We like jambalaya. All right, so let's. Anything else you'd like to add to the Clippers, there, Souls? Mock?
No, I mean, like you said, they're a team. They were kind of middle of the road, but added a lot of pieces. They should be good.
Great bullet point.
Stop looking at me, Kyle.
All right, so rounding out that division in the Western Conference, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Golden State Warriors. So last year they finished at 57-25, which was good enough for first in the Western Conference and third overall in the NBA. As we know, they ended up losing in the NBA Finals to the Toronto Raptors. Obvious noticeable departure, Kevin Durant leaving. Even if he stayed, it would have been a noticeable because he wouldn't have played. So either way, they were without Kevin Durant. But they went out and they retained the services of one Klay Thompson, and they kind of did what they did. Also notable departure was Andre Iguodala. But they did what they did. They kind of went out and they made sure that they kept that we have people who can score the basketball besides the Splash Brothers. So the projected starting lineup for them is... Oh, I forgot. And they added D'Angelo Russell. They traded for D'Angelo Russell. Because they're going to be without Klay for a while. I think they said, till the All-Star break, probably?
half the year. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What? I know he got hurt. What did he
Tore
do?
his ACL.
Was it
He tore his ACL, and Durant tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
And DeMarcus Cousins got arrested.
NBA arrested.
Which is way worse.
So the projected starting lineup for Golden State coming into the start of the year will be Steph Curry and D'Angelo Russell in the backcourt, McKinney and Green as the forwards, and Kevin Looney at the center position. Notable backups for them include Alec Burks, Eric Paschal, Jordan Poole, Glenn Robinson III, and Willie Cauley-Stein. And they still have Omari Spellman. That's big for them.
Yeah.
3-point shooter. I mean, unfortunately, I think that we're going to see kind of a little bit of the derailment of what we knew the Golden State Warriors to be without Klay Thompson, just because Klay Thompson is so good defensively. You always had that consistency of having, even before Kevin Durant, of the good perimeter defender and the good down-low defender. And now, I mean, Steph Curry and D'Angelo Russell, not two guards known for their perimeter defense. They're more known for their ability to score the ball at will. So I do think we're going to see him. I haven't looked at the schedule to see who they're playing, but it's the first half of the season, so they're going to play the Lakers, they're going to play the Clippers, they're going to play the Rockets, these teams in the West. I definitely see them going into the All-Star break somewhere in that 6-5 seed range, and then them kind of clawing their way back into maybe a 4 or a 3, but maybe even not a 3, maybe a 4. I just think that they're definitely a playoff team. They're still one of the better teams in the West. When you have Steph Curry on your team and Draymond Green, you're going to be able to go out and do amazing things. But I think it's not Klay Thompson's range. It's his defensive abilities that they're going to miss the most to start the season.
D'Angelo can score.
Right. No, I'm saying it's not Klay Thompson's range. It's his defensive capabilities. Because D'Angelo Russell and Stephen Curry are not known to be defensive guards.
I have a question kind of posed to you, Souls and Riddler here. Is there a scenario where, I think Golden State makes the playoffs, I agree. Is there a scenario where they lose a significant amount of ground and they end up kind of in a 7-8 position just from early on?
If Steph Curry gets hurt, here's the thing. Even though they do have D'Angelo Russell, I expect The one thing that could make the opposite of that happen, which could be having them still be a 2-3 seed when Clay comes back, is if D'Angelo Russell and the Warriors kind of agree to have him take a back seat as the secondary scorer, and we see MVP Steph Curry, which is something we haven't really seen. And we saw last year a little bit when Kevin Durant was hurt, Klay Thompson was hurt. But before Kevin Durant got there, before Klay Thompson was regularly putting up 25 points a game, the Warriors were a completely different team when Steph Curry was doing what he does.
A lot of people are going to go back and start to love Steph Curry again after this year, in my opinion. Like, everybody hated on him because he was a Warrior. But
I don't think anybody hated him. I just think people hated the Warriors for the same reason people hate the Patriots.
Right.
For the same reason people hate all the teams that go out and just continuously. Same reason people hated the Bulls in the 90s. The same reason people hated the Blackhawks in the early 2000s. The Steelers in the 70s. The Cowboys and the Yankees forever.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
Well, Steph was the original guy, right? He was kind of like the original brick in that foundation.
They were pretty homegrown.
Monte Ellis was the original brick in that foundation.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were homegrown until Durant signed there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think
That's really... Durant signing there is really what kind of started the whole fuck the Warriors mentality.
a lot of people probably would love to see the Warriors win if Durant never showed up. Because they were that good to win without him. Now you have that core again. So Draymond Green, in my opinion, has taken a step back. He's not the defender he once was, or he's not the offensive threat he once was, because he got a little bit slower. And all the years of being deep into the postseason probably took a war in the knees or whatever.
Well, the thing too is I think it just when they added Kevin Durant, it took away the need for him to put up those 30-point games that he was occasionally doing. It took away the need for him to step out and stretch the floor as a stretch four. You know, so I don't think anyone's ever viewed Draymond Green as someone who's going to get the ball and battle you down low and get you 50 points beating the big guys down low. He's the guy that, he gets the scrappy points and he had the range, and his 3-point shot has just kind of not been as prevalent since the arrival of Durant.
Remember, I think Steve Kerr's an excellent coach, and I think he's going to help them win a lot of games.
I do too. I mean, they're still a playoff team without a doubt. Even if Klay Thompson missed the whole year, they'd still be a playoff team.
And I do think, back to what you were saying, is I think Steph Curry is the MVP this year.
Well,
I don't think so.
That's just my opinion.
I don't think so. I think it's Giannis. But anyway,
Omar.
Nomar Garcia-Parra?
No, Omar.
Oh. Omar Garcia-Parra.
He's jerky now.
Omari Caspi.
He'll still be the MVP, Kyle.
Instead of which league? Yeah, he'll be the MVP of Thanksgiving.
That was good.
Like, I don't know. I say 4 seeds where I see them
7.
finishing. Huh?
7.
Right.
I think they're a 3 seed.
Right.
Who are we talking
Watch
about?
them
Golden
not
State.
make the playoffs.
Talking GSWD, Golden State Warrior dudes.
Warrior dudes.
It's our other podcast.
Sister station.
We had to snatch up all the 4-letter GSWD things we could. They were number 4, surprisingly.
What was 3?
It was the Golden State Warrior dirigibles.
Durant's.
Dirigibles?
It's a rigid airship by definition.
Ew, who farted? I heard it.
I'm getting
not
there.
Sure.
I'm getting there. All right, moving on to a different division. The Denver Nuggets finished 54-28 last year, good enough for second in the Western Conference. They were in a consistent battle all year with Golden State for the 1 seed, and also holding that spot for a good portion of the year, but fell apart a little bit at the end.
Well, real quick, I'm saying it's pretty cool that Jeff made it to a show.
I'm just surprised that Jeff was able to get the Lions gear off that quick and go out there and perform.
I like the brass knuckle microphone.
Yeah.
So their projected starting lineup coming into the season is Jamal Murray and Gary Harris at the guards. Is it Will Barton? Right, yeah, Will Barton and Paul Millsap at the forwards, and Nikola Jokic, the Joker, at the center position. Notable backups for them include Monte Morris, Malik Beasley, Michael Porter Jr., Jeremiah Grant, and Mason Plumlee. And Bol Bol.
They're a very deep team.
They are. And they have Bol Bol.
Who's a savage in NBA 2K.
Is he?
Yeah, dude. Like shot tendency is like a 98. I don't know why.
Is that necessarily a good thing?
Off of that game, it is.
Now, does that just mean he shoots a lot?
Yeah, but if he shoots a lot, he scores a lot,
I don't see how the correlation.
so his rating goes up.
Because here's the thing: I can shoot a lot. Doesn't mean I'm scoring a lot.
You're going to score more than if you don't shoot a lot.
It's probably going to be about the same. If we're just being honest here.
Well, you're a known passer anyway.
Like the
No
quarterback
passing.
rating, you score
The
better.
only
if you just
shooting
throw it
guard
to the
that
dirt all
likes
the
to
time.
pass.
I do like their roster a lot. I think they are the 2-3 seed. The only thing I'm going to say is I do think Michael Porter takes over Will Barton's job eventually this year.
I can see that.
They're a very well-rounded team. They have the shooting, they have the spacing, they have the defense, they have the speed. Jokic is slower than dirt, but I don't know how he does
Slower than
it.
Dirt. No, the guy, he's just a floor general, but from the center position.
Yeah, he runs like me.
I mean, he can shoot the three. He's got good passing. You know, he's got good footwork. You know, I mean, for a center, especially somebody that's stretching the floor and moving the ball around as much as he is, footwork is more important than speed. You know, he can dance around down low in the post. He can move it around the perimeter, and the guy just finds open people all the time. And
He's got hella touch.
Hella touch.
and he's quietly very good defensively.
What do you think, Mike?
I'm sorry, I got distracted because I'm laughing. I was watching the halftime show there with Bradley Gilbert, and there's a guy playing some form of ukulele, just really getting it,
Oh, it's a mandolin. He's ripping on it.
just going real hard at it.
I like they
You
got
mean the
a
thing that you chop vegetables with?
yeah.
It was just really funny.
I like they got a banjo on a stand. I've never seen that before.
Clearly, you've never been to the South.
Or I guess not.
But, yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that they're a very deep team where there's a lot of productivity to come from a lot of different places, and I agree with Souls. We didn't do this. We were doing this last week. We should probably start doing it again. But I would say, like, ceiling for them would be the 1 seed. Floor for them would probably be, like, the 5-6 seed. Realistic expectations, 2-3. I see them finishing as the 2 seed this year, though.
Yeah. I think they can push the Clippers. I think their offense is better than the Clippers, but I think the Clippers defense is way better.
And I'm sorry,
Much better.
where did they sit last year?
2.
One. That's
They
it.
were 2?
They're very close to the one.
They ended up falling 3 games short of Golden State.
They're 1 seed for like the whole year.
Yeah, I remember down the stretch it was close, but didn't know if they dropped off more. So thank you for clarifying.
Now, did that information help give you any sort of prediction? Or
Oh, no, but it's helping my beer review.
all right,
All right, Mash, what do you think the prediction for the Nuggets are?
For the Nuggets, I think that their ceiling, like Paul said, is the 1 seed. I don't think that they can finish as low as 5. I think they're too talented to fall that far. I think they'll end up as the 3 seed as the lowest.
So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
All I hope, I really, 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 really just hope that somehow, some way, Carmelo Anthony ends up signing with them.
Fucking awesome.
It'd be great. It'd give Kyle a reason to cheer for Carmelo again. It'd give Jeff the biggest boner he's had. I don't know since
Since he had a kid?
I can't do the math, but since the conception of Cole. Yeah. I mean, actually, it might even be bigger than that. It might be since like the "Oops, I Did It Again" video. If Jeff's listening right now, he's going to stop listening and he's going to go watch that video.
He's playing like the
I can
trailer form.
Because like
I
him
can
and
tell you
Kendall
he's
have like
not
the same
watching.
thing where they watch. There's certain music videos. So like "Oops, I Did It Again" does it for Jeff. That Fergie video does it for Kendall.
Which one?
Oh, actually, there's a bunch of them.
the ice cream one.
I thought it was the one with the milk.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
Is it glamorous?
Glamorous, I also
The one,
like.
the one that
Fergalicious
Chrissy
is cool.
Teigen's in.
Yeah, all the lot of.
You talking big girls don't cry?
We talking
No.
London Bridges?
Talking Black Eyed Peas.
You bet your ass.
Where is the love?
Awful song.
Nah.
No, it's not.
It's a
bad
bad
song.
song. It's a bad song.
Kendall, you like Paul Wall?
Yeah, fine.
Terrible.
Best
let's
rapper
move on
of all
to the
time, right?
Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City last year finished 49-33, which is good enough for the 6th seed in the Western Conference. Obviously, notable departures, the team. Notable additions, aging point guard. They lost Westbrook via trade. They also lost Paul George due to free agency.
No, via trade.
Oh, no, yeah, via trade.
So many first-round picks.
Yeah, they have a lot in the tank for the future, but
Not really.
Nothing really for
Because
now.
all those first-round picks are going to be like 28 and 30.
yeah, but they can package those to move up.
Yeah, I guess. Some team like the Pacers will do it.
A team that doesn't need that immediate talent, but needs some help, productivity-wise. But so OKC, their projected starting lineup going into the season is Chris Paul and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at the guards, Robertson and Gallinari at the forwards, and Steven Adams at the center position. Notable backups. Not much has changed. They still don't have a bench.
Just have a worse starting five.
Yeah, but they do have Dennis Schroeder. They have Terrence Ferguson, Mike Muscala, and Nerlens Noel.
I might sound crazy.
No, Kyle, I agree with you 100%. By the trade deadline, Steven Adams ends up on a contending team that needs a big man down low in the anchor for defensive, and Nerlens Noel comes back into form at the center position for OKC. I agree with you 100%. I could use one too.
So
Out of hands.
So
Surprise me, I don't care.
I kind of believe this. I can see them making a push
For the 10 seed.
for like the 8 seed. Because that starting five is still very good. You got a younger two who can shoot.
Shouldn't have said anything.
that's what I almost gave Kendall.
You got a younger two.
Nah, I'll take it. We gotta drink them.
Chris Paul can still run the offense. Gallinari can stretch the floor. Adams gets the garbage. Roberson won't do anything offensively for you, but he'll play great defense. So they have a little bit of everything on that team, on that starting five. They have the shooting, they have the defense, they have garbage play. They're going to be a very feisty team,
That's broken wrist.
and I could see them fighting for the 8 seed. But if they're like a 10 seed toward the All-Star break, Paul will be traded. I don't know about Adam, but Chris Paul will be traded.
Do you think Gallinari is traded too?
No.
I have a statement and a question. One, Where Is the Love is not an awful song. It's a whatever song for me. I can't afford the Twitter hate. And two, at what point do you think we're going to see a Chris Paul kind of like drop off? Like a significant, hey,
We've seen it.
It's already happened.
Well, but I guess so. But the minutes I feel like haven't been affected for
Well,
him.
no, because he's still too valuable to not have on the floor. But so when Chris Paul, you've kind of seen the evolution of his drop off. I shouldn't say his drop off, more of the molding of his game. When Chris Paul was in New Orleans, he was unstoppable. He was one of the best point guards playing the game.
He's very good at scoring the ball.
Absolutely. Then he moved to LA. Now, in LA, he had Blake Griffin, JJ Redick, DeAndre Jordan, and
Jamal Crawford was there, but he wasn't starting with him.
was it Hito Turkoglu?
No, not for like 1 year.
Who was there 3 then? That was when the team was really disappointing that they never really made it.
Why do I feel like Gallinari? No, he was Clipper last year.
I don't remember. Anyway, but so he didn't need to be the scorer. Now he still
Luke
shot.
Huh? Luke Mabamute.
Was it?
Yep.
He still didn't have to shoot. He still didn't have to shoot that well. He still could. He didn't have to shoot crazy though. He wasn't driving like he needed to anymore. And that's when he became an elite passer. Because he had DeAndre Jordan, all he had to do was throw it up and he was getting it. Blake Griffin, all he had to do was throw it anywhere and he was getting it.
It was a fun team to watch too.
Right. And it was a more talented version of the Toronto Raptors from the Vince Carter days. That's really what it was. You had the guy that you just threw the ball somewhere and he was getting it. And then if he did manage to step in and draw defenses towards him, all he had to do was kick it out to Redick, who was hitting the 3. So that's when he became more of the floor general and not really the scorer so much. Then towards the end of that era, when things started to fall apart a little bit, he became really good defensively. And he started to become a much more 3-and-D style of player. Then when he went to Houston, he really became a 3-and-D player. Still the ability to find the open guy. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that his game. It's not that he's dropped off. It's just he's lost his speed. So instead of being an unsuccessful point guard that is slightly undersized trying to drive the lane in a world of giants, he became the floor general who's going to find the open man and he's going to lock down your star player. And I think a lot of people to this day still say that if Chris Paul hadn't gotten injured, that the Rockets would have beaten the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago.
Yeah, I stand by that.
I think a lot of people would stand by that.
Yeah, because you're a Rocket fan.
No.
You are, though. You are a Rocket fan.
Yeah, exactly. Houston Rockets.
Houston, everything.
Just become a fucking Houston native.
I know. He likes the Texans more than the Steelers.
No.
Yeah, everyone knows that you're a freaking Andre Johnson fan more than
He does like the Astros more than the Mets.
No,
Yeah, that's true.
No.
You're going to sit here and tell me that you don't like Arian Foster more than Jerome Bettis?
What?
You don't like Alfred Blue?
He is Alfred Blue.
More than Willie Parker.
Good to see it. No, Willie Parker was good for like 2 years.
Matt Schaub?
What?
Matt Schwab or Rashard Mendenhall?
Matt Schaub.
See?
Was Rex Grossman a Texan?
No, I don't think so. He's a
He was-
Redskin.
are we sure?
Yeah, he was a Tech. He was a Redskin.
I know he was a Red, but he was never a
What
Texan.
college did he go
Rex
to?
Grossman was oddly not a journeyman.
Paul might know this.
I don't, Kyle. I you know why?
Because no one cares.
There's better things to do with my time.
He played for your favorite college and got drafted by your favorite team.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did play for Florida, didn't he? Forgot about that.
Way better in Florida than
So
what
did the
was
most overhyped quarterback of all time.
there. What?
The
I'd
most
like to
over-
not get into this.
The most overhyped quarterback of all time also played for Florida. Great college quarterback, terrible NFL quarterback.
Chris Leak.
No, we're
Also,
we're talking about a man of God.
Rex Grossman was a Texan. Thank you.
Was he?
For 1 year before he went to the
Yeah,
Redskins.
Tim Tebow.
Wow. I don't remember that.
Anyway, so I will. I love you. We have a lot of good NBA discussions. I'm sure we'll have some heated ones as the season rolls on. If this is the start of the first one, so be it. But I couldn't disagree with you more. I don't see OKC knocking on any playoff doors.
That's fair.
I see their ceiling and their floor and their potential being all the same, and that is the 11th seed.
That's fair. They'll probably suck, but
I can agree with you that Chris Paul might get moved to a contender, someone with more of a win now mentality. I could also see Steven Adams being moved to a team that's kind of looking for a little bit of spark down low in terms of, because I think Steven Adams has been, personally, I think he's been underutilized his entire career there.
but the person to make him good is Chris Paul. Like not good, but like good offensively.
See, I disagree because I think the perfect fit for him was when we saw that 1 year of it was Russell Westbrook versus the world, and that's when I think we saw the best Steven Adams offensively because Steven Adams will run the floor no matter what. Every time you see someone, Russell Westbrook will get a steal.
His rebounding percentage is going to go way up.
But like Russell Westbrook would get a steal, he would get the ball at half court, and there would be nobody around him. Steven Adams would be under the opponent's basket and would still sprint to the other end of the floor just in case. And that, I can't tell you how many times that resulted in garbage layups for him because everyone just expects Westbrook to take it. I didn't touch it that time.
Right here.
My headphones went out. Sorry. So anyway, that's all we got to say about that. So, is ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to, in my opinion, arguably the most exciting team to watch in the Western Conference. Kyle, care to take a guess?
Is it the Pels?
No, the most exciting team.
Mavericks.
No, the most
These are
exciting
the
team.
Kings.
Who said the Kings?
We share this, Kyle. We share this love.
These are the Jazz.
There's not a lot of secondary teams that we all can agree on as our favorites.
Oh,
These are the
Portland.
Trailblazers.
Portland Trailblazers. Last year they finished 53-29, good enough for third in the Western Conference. Notable changes to the lineup this year. They went out and acquired the services of Hassan Whiteside via trade. The projected starting lineup for them going into the season is Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum in the backcourt, with Rodney Hood and Zach Collins in the forwards positions and Hassan Whiteside at center. Notable backups for them include the person that Hassan Whiteside took over for, Nikola Jokic.
Nope.
No,
Joseph Nurkic.
that's what I meant. Where's Nikola Jokic? Oh,
Yo, my fart did the Tim Allen thing.
Oh,
Is that what that was?
That's not even what was funny. I look over, Kyle's just grinning.
wait, do they still have him?
It just got me.
Who?
Do they still have Nurkic?
Yeah, he just got hurt last year.
I know, but it's not showing up here on their depth chart.
I think
He's
would
not
be
on-
the
he's
starter
not
if he
on the
was there.
Trailblazers anymore.
No, he just broke his leg, so.
Hold on, let's.
Nurkic is still with the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
I lied.
He's just not on their depth chart. So is he out for the start of the year?
Well,
Okay, all right, so that's what it is then. Notable backups will include Nurkic. I don't think he'll take over the starting position, to be honest with you. I think that Hassan Whiteside's the perfect center for this team. Because Lillard and McCollum and Hood can all slice and dice through the lane. They can also step back and shoot the threes. Hassan Whiteside, they don't need a stretch three. Or stretch five. They don't need someone that can come out and take the threes. They need the guy that's going to stay down low and fight and get those offensive rebounds.
He doesn't shoot.
Hmm?
He doesn't shoot.
No, but he spends a lot of time out in the perimeter.
Oh, he's just trying to create separation.
Right, I understand that, but you're not creating separation if they know you're not taking the three. It's like when Joel Embiid steps out at the 3-point line, you know that you have to go out and do that. But when Dwight Howard steps out behind the 3-point line, or Joakim Noah, you don't have to honor that as much. You can, if they're stepping out at the top of the key, you can very easily stay at the topmost hash on the free throw line.
Let him roll the dice on this one.
Well, no, they're not going to shoot it though. That's the thing. Like you still see that with players. You'll see centers that can shoot the three, but don't do it at a regular clip. DeAndre Ayton's a good example. DeAndre Ayton can shoot the three. He's just not consistent with it. Would that be fair to say, Kyle?
Yeah.
So for the first quarter, you might lay off of him to keep that inside help against like Devin Booker slicing or Rubio or whatever. But then and you give Ayton that space, and if he misses the threes, you keep giving him the space. If he makes them, you get a little closer and make him uncomfortable. But you're not going to see that with Howards and things like that. So when you're spacing the floor as a non-shooting big man, you're not really helping the team, in my opinion. Now, that might not all be on him. It could be on coaching. But Hassan Whiteside, I think, is going to be the perfect center for that team. I think that Hassan Whiteside could be the missing piece because Hassan Whiteside is going to fight for every single offensive rebound, and Hassan Whiteside does not need to be the scorer that he was molded to be in Miami. He doesn't have to be that here. He doesn't need to average more than 8 points a game. Hassan Whiteside could be one of those guys where we see more blocks and rebounds than we do points a game, and that's perfectly fine because that's what they need is that defensive firepower down low. But anyway, notable backups would include I forgot his name again. The center.
Nurkic.
I keep wanting to say Jokic. They're fucking the same person.
Well, they played for the same team at one point.
I know. Nurkic, Tolliver, Zach Collins, Kent Bazemore, and Anafree Simmons.
Let me tell you something.
And Mario Hezonja.
Their starting five's going to be very good, but their bench might be one of the best.
And the reason I agree with Kyle is for one name that was left out.
Anthony Simmons.
No, a name that was left out.
No, not there. Say it.
The biggest acquisition when you consider how long Nurkic's out for. Pau Gasol.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Still plays with a lot of intensity down low, still a rebound eater, and can stretch the floor. And I think that we will see a good portion of Hassan Whiteside and Pau Gasol on the floor at the same time.
I think if the Blazers make one move, it will put them to fight for the best team in basketball.
What is
What would
that?
that be?
They make a trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they go get Kevin Love.
Can see that.
Is there a likelihood of that happening?
It's been rumored forever. The one team. Not only will Kevin Love provide shooting, he'll provide rebounding. He's not the greatest defender in the world. He doesn't have to be. Because that team is going to go put up 167 points.
It'll give him a chance to return to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kevin Love minus the
Also
shooting.
love to see him back in Minnesota. But we'll get to it.
One step at a time there, souls. Well, it's interesting because it's not the Trailblazers team that we remembered for very long.
It is. it's the same fucking players.
What?
No, like I'm not being a jerk. It really is.
Well, I mean,
Kyle, hold on for a second. Kendall, can you name the biggest question mark in Portland Trailblazers history? And when I say question mark, I mean the biggest what could have been.
well, didn't they almost have a
I'll
finals
accept 2 of
appearance?
them.
No, I'm not talking about that. Fuck you if you're thinking about the other guy. Because fuck you. No, I'm not talking about player. What's the biggest what could have been player in Portland Trailblazers history?
I don't think I know.
War number 7.
Derrick Rose.
Who has Patrick Kane? Who has Patrick Kane in the
Look
hockey
at
league?
Not me.
Not me.
I think Mass does. Scored a goal.
Nice.
Brandon Roy.
I think if I had Kane and Taze, Paul would have traded me his car.
No, I need that for work. But I would have traded you
Me.
my life insurance policy or something. I would have made you the beneficiary on it.
Would you have traded me $1,600?
Well, I just told him I would have traded my life insurance.
Hey, so
That's a pretty specific amount.
so
Why do you
listen.
need $1,600?
So listen,
3D printer.
what do you want for Taze?
I want $1,600.
Yeah, the going price has been asked.
The bar has been set.
I couldn't agree with Kyle more in the aspect that the Portland Trailblazers they might be in the top 10, but maybe not top 5 in terms of their starting 5.
They're
But-
1 player away from being in
I
the
do,
top.
but I have him on my bench.
You didn't start Patrick Kane?
Apparently not.
Probably, I bet you that he didn't have a game yesterday, so he sat him.
Okay, real quick, sidebar. We'll get back to you know what? Fuck it. We'll go to it later. We're gonna keep going with the NBA.
I feel like
I agree with you. I think that the addition of somebody like a Kevin Love could be huge for them. But I do think that I think regardless of it, I think that the ceiling for them is still 1 seed. I still think they have a ceiling of a 1 seed without Kevin Love. I think floor would be
5.
5, 4, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 4, 4, 5.
Damian Lillard in the NBA does not. He gets his recognition now,
Yeah.
but he doesn't get the love of the star player he is.
He is, there's, the way I always look at it is there's 4 tiers of NBA players. There's who's the absolute best right now. As of right now, that is kind of a competition in my mind between Giannis and Steph. I think, is that agreed, Kyle? Giannis and Steph?
Like without injury, you mean?
What?
Because I would still put Kevin Durant best.
I'm talking about right now.
Okay,
I'm
then
talking
Giannis.
right now.
Giannis.
All right, so we'll go Giannis. Then you have your next, which is absolute elite players. The guys that you game plan against, the guys that absolutely make games every single. A guy that if he plays 82 games is going to be a factor for 82 games. Then you have tier 3, which is the superstars, the guys that make a big impact, maybe not always show up for all 82 games, but they're big important parts of the game. And then there's the role players. There's everybody else. 95% of the NBA falls into role players. Then you have those other guys like CJ McCollum. He fits into the superstar category. He might not show up for all 82 games, but he makes a difference for that team. That's where players like Lou Williams fall in. That's where players like JJ Redick could fall into from time to time, depending on what you're looking at and things like that. But Damian Lillard is in that second tier. He's in that tier with the LeBron James, the Steph Currys, the James Hardens. He's a difference maker.
He just doesn't play for the market.
Right, exactly. He plays for a very small market team. He plays for a small market team, but you know what? You go to Portland, you go to Oregon.
That stadium's always sold out and loud.
Very loud.
And the shots that Damian Lillard makes in the playoffs, a lot of the other players will not.
He is. And just regular season, he's one of the most clutch players. I don't think there is another player in the NBA that I'd give the ball to if I'm down a point, needing a bucket. I'm not giving it to anybody but Damian Lillard. There's all the talks about Steph Curry's and LeBron James and stuff like that, but Damian Lillard is, as Sol so nicely called it earlier, a bucket getter.
There'll be nights where he completely bricks, but that won't stop him from shooting because he knows that.
And he'll still put up 20 plus.
Yeah.
That's my kind of guy. If it's not working, keep it going.
Well, he's the type of guy that you need to because he's going to play the 40 minutes.
Right.
If he sits, it's for 5 minutes a night.
So
They need him in the lineup.
Let's move on. Utah Jazz, they finished 50-32 last year, 5 seed in the West. Notable acquisitions or roster changes. Kobe Gets of the Year was the addition of
Bojan Bogdanovic.
and Mike Conley.
I don't know why I said Bogdanovic first.
But so Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell will be your backcourt, projected backcourt with Bogdanovic and Joe Ingles as the forwards, and in my opinion, the best defensive big man in the NBA, Rudy Gobert at the center position. The Frenchman. Notable backups include Royce O'Neal, Dante Exum, Emmanuel Mudiay, Jeff Green, Ed Davis, and Georges Niang.
For 2 years now, I've been wanting to see Mike Conley go to the Jazz. It finally happened, and I truly believe that this is going to be a big difference maker for that team. Not only does it provide another scorer for the Jazz, it provides leadership for Donovan Mitchell, who had to take that leadership role on very early in his career. So now
day one.
Yeah. So now you add Mike Conley, who's probably the Grizzlies' best player of all time. Which is, I know, ridiculous to hear, but it's the truth. He's going to go down as the best point guard, best player in that team's history for now. You know, he leads in points, he leads in assists, he leads in all those type of categories.
The only person that comes close is
Powell.
Zebo.
Him or Powell.
I would say Zebo. Honestly, I would. Just because Powell went out and had so much success elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, but like Zebo, like he did his damage in Memphis.
But not like now you have Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, and Rudy Gobert. That is probably like the only big three that's in the NBA. So I still believe they're a 4 or 5 seed, but if you're the 6th seed and they get past you in that first round, I would not want to play them in the second round.
I wouldn't want to play them at all in any round. They're a team that if they lose, they're going to go out swinging in 7 games. Mm-hmm. They're going to give you everything they got. And Rudy Gobert, the one thing, in my opinion, that the Eastern Conference beats the Western Conference at is defensive big men. And that's why Rudy Gobert has been so dominant. Because Rudy Gobert is in a league of his own in the Western Conference.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody comes close to him. In my opinion, the next best defensive big man is probably Steven Adams. Maybe Clint Capella.
Yeah.
But overall player, Rudy Gobert is just better. I mean, Jokic would probably be the better overall player. But Rudy Gobert goes out and gets buckets too. I mean, the guy, he's an absolute dominant. My question mark is, can the bench keep it going when they come out? Because, we see a lot of times, I think with this team, you're going to see a lot of that hybrid half starter, half bench rotation. You're going to see a lot of like the 3-4 minutes into the first quarter, you're going to see, Bogdanovic and Mike Conley exit. And so that the backups can play with Mitchell and Ingles and Gobert. And then, because honestly, Ingles is probably going to be the minute eater on this team. The guy just goes forever. Everyone's favorite dad.
So, the addition to Bogdanovic helps out too, because last year Ingles is he's a good 3-point shooter, but he's not Bogdanovic type. And that's where I think the Pacers made a mistake by letting him go. But the Jazz now have 3 guys that can shoot the ball. They have 4 guys that can shoot it well. 3 guys that can shoot it elite. Donovan Mitchell can't shoot elite. And they have Rudy Gobert, who's going to probably take over games in that. Probably one more closer to the end of the year. You'll see him really turning into the defensive monster that he is.
Well, so this is the way I look at Rudy Gobert. It's the same way I look at players like Joel Embiid. You look at it, we'll give you the best reference we can for those that aren't basketball fans or don't watch a lot of basketball. You look at the NFL. You look at the NFL. What do we see all season long? 5 touchdown passes. 4 receiving touchdowns on 187 yards. 18 receptions. All this stuff. When we get into the playoffs, what do you see? What do you see from the actual hard-nosed grit games? It goes back to football fundamentals. Whose big men are winning up front? Who's hitting the gaps at the running back position? That's what it goes back to all the time. All the time. It's the same thing in the NBA. Things get gritty, yes. All these guys are launching the ball from 35-plus feet away. All these guys are doing these fantastic, dirty Euro steps and flashy, clean, just immaculate dunk contest style dunks in game. When it comes down to a 7-game series, whose big man is more physical? Whose big man is getting offensive rebounds? And whose big man is giving you more second chance points? Points in the paint and second chance points, that's your rushing in the NFL. That's the thing that people have kind of lost sight of. Everyone wants to see the 3-point shot and the Euro step. People lose track of that second chance points category. That's the running game in the NFL. That's what it is. When it gets down to winning the NBA Finals, it's whose big men performed better.
Yeah. That was very well said.
Thanks. Ready to move on, Souls?
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on from Utah, and we're going to go ahead and go to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Can I take over this one?
Can I just do my normal thing?
Yeah.
I've been giving you the floor after I do my normal spiel, and then I chime in with you.
I want you to shut up and let him talk.
Yeah, so the Minnesota Timberwolves last year went 36-46, which is good enough for 11th in the Western Conference. Check out with you, Souls.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, the projected starting lineup for them going into the season is Jeff Teague and Andrew Wiggins at the guards, Layman and Covington at the forward positions, and Karl Anthony Towns at the center. Check out with you.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And then notable bench guys include Shabazz Napier, Jarrett Culver, Trayvon Graham, Gorgie Dang, and Josh Okiogi.
Shabazz.
Who gets wins? Championship wins. All right, Souls, by all means, take over. Sorry I even bothered showing up today.
Now, this is the one I've been looking for.
Fucking bitch.
This is the one I've been looking forward to. The Minnesota Timberwolves are in a spot where they are young. People think they are rebuilding, but they're trying not to rebuild at the same time.
Yeah, they're a dumpster fire.
In the draft, they moved up to get Jarrett Culver, who's a D&3 type player. In that sense, they try to get a younger Jimmy Butler. Okay. They have Robert Covington, who's another 3-and-D guy. You know, Jeff Teague, who I think has fallen off tremendously since his arrival in Minnesota. And you have Andrew Wiggins, who we all know hasn't played up to his potential. And you have Cat, who's basically been doing it alone for the last few years. Well, since the departure of Jimmy Butler.
Disparture.
You guys all know where I was going with that.
I don't know. I like the word, honestly.
Since his dispatcher.
It's a combination. It's when you give a disposition on your departure. It's your dispatcher.
Someone call Merriam-Webster right now.
I make it words.
It's not even that you make them up. You just kind of use them incorrectly.
So, the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think, are going to be in the middle of 9 and 11. Like 9, 11, or 12. But I see them getting rid of Jeff Teague and kind of using the role of Andrew Wiggins bringing the ball up. And I say that because I think they want to see Andrew Wiggins finally step out of his shell and be a difference maker for that team. And he's gonna have to be in order for that team to succeed. I don't know if they think he's gonna be there very long, because if they do decide to trade him, it's gonna be because they're completely out of it.
Is Minnesota, are they like confirmed? Like, hey, this is the direction we want to go. Is there any part of them that are like, hey, let's just sell the farm?
They're all over the place. They won't commit. They're trying to rebuild without committing to the rebuild. Sol said it earlier. That's what they're trying to do. I mean, they like the pieces they have in Towns and Wiggins, but they're not sold on Wiggins yet. But they don't want to get rid of him. But he's not worth, the commodities that another young player might be worth. And, I don't know. I mean, the best thing I don't know.
If they do decide to trade him, say if they like, hey, full rebuild, that means Cat's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's too tenured at this point to be part of a rebuild.
But if you trade Cat, it's going to be to a contending team. So you're not going to get that pick that you're looking for. You're going to get probably from 18 to 30 pick.
So it almost does you no good.
Yeah. So, but if you also wait it out and you don't ever win with him and he decides to leave, then You got rid of
kinda-
him for nothing.
Right.
So it's tough to be in their shoes because you got a superstar and you can't win. Like you tried all these different pieces. I do think Covington and Culver are good 3-and-D guys, but they never had a pedigree of winning. Because last year, the Sixers traded Covington just before they went on their big run. But at the time, they were kind of stagnant in their offense. It's a weird situation.
Yeah, I mean... I
No, I don't want you to talk. You took it over.
Well, I thought he took it over.
You did.
No, sorry.
You done, Souls?
Yeah, I'm done.
No. Let's move on to Memphis. 33-49 last year, good enough for 12th in the Western Conference. Notable departures: Mike Conley. Notable additions: John Morant via the draft. Projected starting lineup going into the season is John Morant and Devin Brooks. Is it Devin Brooks, guy?
Devin Brooks.
At the backcourts, Anderson and Jackson Jr. in the forwards, and Valanciunas at the center position. Notable backups includes Tyus Jones, Grayson Allen, Jay Crowder. That's really pretty much Andre Iguodala.
They're one of those teams that have a lot of buyout contracts. But I told Paul this a couple weeks ago. This is the one team that I know that's going to suck that I want to turn on every night.
Why is that?
Because I do love Jaren Jackson Jr., and I do think John Morant will be very good.
Love some JJJ.
I think them together are going to be very fun. Valanciunas last year, since the move to Memphis, he was a beast for them. You know, he gives them not like spacing, but he gives them like intensified play, like a Zach Randolph. Like he's going to go out there and play 20 minutes of hard-nosed basketball. That's it. You know what you're going to get from him. And he turned out to be like a FanDuel star.
So just quality play.
Yeah.
This is what you're...
And,
which I can respect.
and if they do, if Iguodala and Jay Crowder decide to stay there, they have leadership in that locker room to help the young kids as well. They're not going to be good. You know, they'll probably be, bottom of the line, whatever. I do think they'll be fun. There'll be a lot of flashy play. Something that Memphis has had not seen in their since Jason Williams.
All right. Let's move on. Kendall's favorite NBA team, Houston Rockets. That's right. It's the Houston version of the Rockets.
Classic.
Rebecca wanted to be one of those. She wasn't tall enough.
Yep.
That's her backstory today. It's also because she's got cankles. Last year, the Houston Rockets went 53-29, which is good enough for fourth in the Western Conference. Notable departures from them include Chris Paul. Acquisitions include Russell Westbrook's projected starting lineup for them is Russell Westbrook and James Harden in the backcourt, Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker in the forward positions, and Clint Capella at the center. Notable backups include Gerald Green, Gary Clark, Tyson Chandler, Austin Rivers, and Thabo Sefolosha, and Neen, and Ben McLemore. They've acquired some depth on the bench, which is good. I don't think that Eric Gordon is going to be the starter for them. I think that it's going to be Gerald Green, and that Eric Gordon will be that spark off the bench guy that they need. Kind of more the minute guy. But yeah. So,
This is the one team that I think is not as good as what people think.
the Tom Crabtree.
I wish. I think that guy fell back into the sewers.
I believe this is one of the teams that are not as good as they think. They added Russell Westbrook, but at what cost? You know, you're gonna get Westbrook's 30. You're gonna get a good year out of him, but he's no longer the number one option, and he hasn't done that in a few years. And he wasn't good with it when he wasn't the number one option. You know, James Harden took over that role of him. But I don't think Clint Capella can handle being the third star or the third best player on their team.
What do you mean by that exactly?
like,
He's not going to rise to the occasion.
yeah, like I think he had a very good year last year. I think he takes a step back.
Okay.
He still had trouble with the free throws, and like you can't keep him in at the end of the game. Can't, especially when it's crucial. Like they're just gonna foul him over Westbrook, and Westbrook took a dip last year. His shooting percentage went way down, and his defense he plays hard defense, but he's not good at it. If that makes sense.
That kind of makes sense. I mean, for me, and you guys can all speak on this way better than I can. I think it's a team that will stay exactly where they are. I think it's a team that has built themselves on playing flashy ball. You know, they're going to shoot a bunch of threes. Their defense is going to be whatever. And they're going to win games, and I think they have a roster to kind of fulfill that type of potential.
They have to outscore everybody, and that method doesn't always work.
No, but
that's why they'll never make championship.
And I could sort of agree, but I think if they have
speak English,
Me?
they'll never make championship.
I would say that the stumbling is real.
if they
Help
have
me out here, guy.
if they have a recipe for how they do things, they've maintained that recipe. I guess is what I'm saying. For right or wrong.
For right.
Well, if the championship, yes, then it's for right. But otherwise, it's kind of,
Hey, if they won a championship, would you buy a jersey?
I would not.
Liar. I think you would. Or you'd buy a shirt.
I'll take the NBA jerseys I really want right now.
No,
John-
we're not doing this.
John Solomons.
No, stop it.
Which one?
John Solomons on...
All of them.
Yeah, I kind of think all of them, honestly.
It's Ryan Fitzpatrick of the NBA. I think that they could take the next step in terms of like the season finish records. I think that they could go somewhere in the 2-3 seed. I don't think they have what it takes to get to the 1 just because they don't have the defensive capabilities to do it. But they're going to score more, and you're going to be hard pressed to find a team in the NBA that's going to play with more heart than these guys. All these guys leave everything on the court every night and give everything they have. You know, it might not be in all aspects of basketball, but they do it nonetheless. Matt, are you watching Life Hacks?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm watching right
You're
now.
watching a woman tie a knot in a shirt. When are you
I
gonna
don't
use
know.
that? Please, I want you to use it now because I would like to see your belly extenuated.
Does anybody have a rubber band? Rebecca, you must. You're a teacher.
No, she doesn't have anything. She's
Do you have a rubber band?
poorly prepared teacher all the time.
In my hair.
Anyway,
Are we doing this?
No.
All right.
but I think that they could potentially take the next step. I think that this is going to give. I think Russell Westbrook and Eric Gordon off the bench is going to give Clint Capella the option to be a more defensive-oriented player and not have to worry about offense. My opinion. Anything else, Souls? / everyone else?
No, well, I don't think so.
Mark?
No, I'm good. Really,
We touched on all your points?
really hoping Galladay's out for the rest of this game.
Segue back into the NFL.
All right, we are going to move on to the Spurs of San Antonio. Last year, they finished 48-34, good enough for 7th in the Western Conference. Their projected starting lineup for the start of the season is Murray and White in the backcourt with DeRozan and Aldridge in the forward positions and Poeltl in the center position.
It's actually pronounced Pirtle. I don't know how.
Yeah, different countries do different things, you know? What are you going to do? Notable backups would include... Hold on. Sorry.
Plint Plurtle?
Notable backups would include Patty Mills, Damari Carroll, Rudy Gay. That's pretty much it. Marco Bellinelli.
I'm excited for this team.
Still have one of the best coaches in basketball.
Yeah. And they get their point guard back. If he becomes the guy that they think he is,
Kyle's really high on this guy.
yeah. I can see the Spurs making a big run.
This
As
is the
the-
Josh Freeman of point guards for Kyle. Fair?
Yeah. I just really think that his athleticism and... Why are you laughing at me?
It's an athleticism.
Yeah, guys.
That's why he's laughing at you.
It's part of the beer.
All right, keep going.
Hey, I'm glad he's liking this episode.
Well,
I know
we're
he's
running
having
out
fun.
of time.
Yeah, I just think that they have a bright future with the backcourt. Kobe White's very good. Murray's very good. And you know what you're going to get from DeRozan and Aldridge. And you have Pop.
And that's the kind of the key to it all, honestly.
Is it?
I think so. I think that guy can turn, salt into diamonds.
Kyle, just a quick question.
Was that a saying?
You feel like doing a shot of private stock at all?
Yeah, sure.
Because the Bulls drafted Kobe White.
What did I say?
You say Kobe White. They have Derek White.
Oh, yeah. Give me it.
All right, so while he's doing that, we'll move on. I'll give the specs out on the second to last team here, Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks last year finished with a record of 33-49, which was good enough for 14th in the Western Conference. Ooh, sorry, got a little heartburn going on right now. Projected starting lineup for them is Wright and Doncic in the backcourt, with Jackson and Porzingis in the forward positions, and Powell at the center. Notable backups include Seth Curry, Tim Hardaway Jr., Finney Smith, Kleber, and Brunson. They're just trying to be all foreign.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know. This team is the biggest question mark to me. I mean, not that they're going to make a playoff push. I don't think they are. They're not talented enough yet. To be honest, I haven't really seen from Porzingis what the world wants him to be since his second year. I think it's going to help having Doncic, not that he doesn't have to be the guy. It's very hard to be the guy.
2 years in the league.
Well, it's just also very hard to be the guy when you're him, because you're talking about a 7-foot stretch 5. We're not talking about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, Porzingis, he's not the offensive juggernaut that Davis is down low. And he's got a better shot than Davis, and he's got good defensive capabilities, but I think he just works. I think he's going to work a lot better as a duo than he is as a single. I think the biggest plus for this team is I'd like to see Seth Curry kind of keep doing what he was doing last year.
I think that Doncic and Porzingis play very well, but I do not think it generates to wins.
You think they're the worst team in the Western Conference?
No. That's probably going to the Grizzlies. But I just don't... I think they'll win 30, 34 game, but I just don't see it generating into a playoff team. I think they'll score. I think those two will play exceptionally well.
I think they'll be exciting to watch.
Yeah.
They'll be an exciting team to watch, but I guess I agree with you. I don't see it really amounting to anything success. And last on the list is the New Orleans Pelicans, who finished 33-49, best or good enough for 13th in the Western Conference last year. Projected starting lineup, notable acquisitions and departures. They acquired the Lakers for Anthony Davis.
Yep.
Projected starting lineup for them going into the season: Lonzo Ball and Drew Holiday at the guards, Ingram and Williamson at the forward positions, and Favors at the center position. Notable backups would include J.J. Redick, Brandon Ingram, Julio Okafor, Alexander Walken, and each one more. I think this team has the largest ceiling to floor that we could possibly imagine for a team.
Yeah.
This could either just not work, or it could be fucking great.
And for the NBA's sake, I hope it's great.
How great would it be if they've got the 8 seed from the Lakers?
But it just Brandon Ingram, supposed to be great. Sorry, Brandon Ingram, his whole tenure in LA, not great, but not bad. If he can develop that into what he's supposed to be, you got something. You got Zion, who in preseason's looking pretty damn good.
Yeah.
You got J.J. Redick, who can help space the floor.
And who's been to 13 straight playoff appearances.
Never missed.
He hasn't missed a playoff since
That's
he's been
amazing.
drafted.
You
Can you
got
name all the teams he played for, Kendall?
I don't think I could.
Go for it.
Okay. All right.
All right, I'm going to give you a hint. Ready? Disney cheesesteaks.
Okay.
missed one.
There's a fourth one?
Yep. Yeah, I remember. Very short time. They actually played your Bulls in that playoff game.
I'm missing it. Missing it. We'll give him a hint then.
All right.
So Disney cheesesteaks.
They are
No, just like a notable thing.
cheesehead.
Forgot all about that.
He was a long-time Packer.
Forgot all about that, actually.
So Buck, Sixer, Laker, Miami.
He would never a Laker.
Clipper, Orlando, Magic.
Where's Orlando? Isn't it North Florida?
Orlando is where Disney is in Florida.
No, it's Disney, Florida. They changed the city entirely. Orlando doesn't exist.
I think this is a team that could be very exciting to watch. For me, the biggest question mark on the team is going to be Lonzo Ball.
And I think he breaks out.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is what people have kind of been waiting for because now the pressure's off of
Because
him.
it's going to sound stupid, but I'm watching this video. It's called with Too Hype.
On porn. Oh,
With Too Hype. And they had a horse game with Lonzo Ball. The jump shot not even close to what it used to be.
yeah. We should watch that tonight.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Actually, new Bro 5 videos on. Also, real quick, so do you have anything to add to this? Let's kind of wrap the Pelicans up. I think the Pelicans are the most exciting team to watch this year in the NBA.
I think they're going to be fun.
I think that they have 5 seed capabilities. I think that they have 10 seed capabilities.
Yeah.
It's where it all meshes. I think the earlier better than the latter. I think they finished somewhere in that 7
We didn't even
seed.
name their best player. They still have Drew Holiday.
I did name him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did not hear that.
But I like the team a lot. I expect a lot of good things from them.
Who do they project as their starting center?
Derek Favors.
Really?
I agree
Over
with you,
Julio
Paul.
Okafor.
I say 5 seed.
Why? Who would you pick?
Oh, I don't view him as a center, but I feel like
it's either him, Julio Okafor, or Zion.
I feel like it would be Okafor. He would play like the 15-minute role and then come out.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Interchangeable. Neither him nor Derek Favors are going to be taking over the game.
No,
So,
but
I mean,
Derek Favors,
JJ Redick's going to be the guy off the bench, the spark off the bench for them, and each
they
one
might
more.
start him.
Each one more too. They might bring Brandon Ingram off the bench. Who knows? But there's a lot to be excited about for this team. So that wraps up Souls real quick. I don't think anybody else really cares to do it. But Souls, you want to go ahead and give a rundown 1 through 8 Western Conference predictions, like we did last week with the East?
Clippers, Nuggets. 3's hard. Clippers, Nuggets, Warriors. I'll put Rockets 4. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head how I had it.
All right.
Kind of like you don't recite this to yourself at least 3 times a day.
I'm going to go Clippers, Blazers, Nuggets, Warriors, Rockets, Jazz, Lakers, Pelicans, Spurs.
All right, so I'm changing. I think it's Clippers and Nuggets. Then I think it's Blazers, Jazz, Rockets, Spurs, Pelicans.
Phoenix.
Yeah. No. I'm missing one.
Kings.
Yeah. I think the Kings get it.
All right, so that rounds it out. That's the NBA pre-show. Next Monday, we do the NBA draft.
Yeah, we have a special guest on.
Yep, we have a special guest on. Maybe another one. Gotta figure that out.
Are we announcing the guest? Are we waiting?
Well, his name's Christian. Mark met him.
Yeah, if you could bring back my softball jersey, that'd be cool.
Get over it.
Kyle, you think he blows off the show like he blew off that game?
No, he likes basketball. Does it matter?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's probably better off he wasn't there.
No, false. We played with 3 outfielders.
Who were the outfielders?
Yeah, we can't talk about this right now.
Go ahead.
We're not talking about it.
You know
right
I'm
now.
right.
No, you're still wrong.
All right. There was something I wanted to talk about after the show. after the
We can
gambling
we can
segment.
talk about David Ortiz's MLB postseason bracket because he called every series wrong.
Well, I mean, we could talk about MLB real quick because we're in the CS games now.
Yeah, Matt, your team fucked me.
Everybody
Royally.
but the Yankees went full series. The Yankees swept the Twins, and the Astros beat out the Rays in 5. The Nationals beat the Dodgers in 5, and the Cardinals beat the Braves in 5. And now the Nationals are on a pretty much unstoppable tear right now because they are dominating the Cardinals.
I did say we were going to get swept in the series.
Yeah,
You did say that?
who would have thought that?
To who?
What the hell? Who's the guy
I
that
said
pitched
that Dashley and
game
Bruce
2?
before the series even
She
started.
didn't say it on air, so there's no record.
Scherzer
of it.
pitched game 2.
Who pitched game 1?
Annabelle Sanchez.
Yeah, who would have thought he was going to be good again?
Dude, he fucking threw 40 miles an hour.
No.
It's like me.
You know, can they just rule this incomplete?
They reversed it. They said it was a fumble.
Damn it.
It is a fumble.
No, I know, but I mean, it's pretty much gain a point, lose a point. So I mean, it's just
Sorry.
Don't give it to Aaron Jones.
No, I don't care about that.
no. Kyle's now hoping that Prater's going to drop the 25 points that he needs, and he's pretty close.
Right. But yeah. So the Nationals are getting ready to go up 3-0 on the Cardinals, and last night the Astros were able to
That would have been
win
good
it.
from 60. Sorry.
The Astros were
Don't
able
call it
to
comeback.
win it in extras against the Yankees to tie the series up 1-1. I believe they resume play tomorrow night
Yep.
in the Bronx.
Yep. For
Yeah, we pick it up
3.
tomorrow. Game 3.
They play 3 straight, right? It's 2-3-2.
Yes.
So I mean, the way I look at it is, you know, the Yankees, the Nationals, it's pretty much wrapped up. I don't see the Cardinals coming back and winning 4 straight, especially 2
They've
in-
done it.
Call it a comeback.
2 in Washington. But the Yankees Astros, I mean, the Yankees did what they had to do. You know, the Astros had to go 5 games to close out Tampa Bay, which means that they were the Yankees were guaranteed no Verlander and no Cole for Game 1. So you know they had the cards played perfectly in their favor to go out and get a road win, which is what they did. They needed that. And then last night they kept with them tooth and nail. Verlander pitched well as usual, and but the Yankees, you know, they took Paxton out after 2 and a third, I think.
2 1/3.
And but the bullpen, you know, pitched well. Only gave up 2 more runs. Eventually, one of those being the game winner.
I would
But
say the bullpen pitched good. It's,
so you know, now we're gonna get into it. You know, can the Yankees? What do you guys view from this? I mean, do you think the Yankees do a clean sweep at home, 3 straight to close out the series?
I don't. I think they split.
You can't. It's 3 games.
it's 3 games.
Oh. No, 2.
Oh, the
2 wins and a
classic
tie.
split.
2 wins and a tie. It happens all the time.
I think the Yankees will take 2, and they'll have to win one in Houston.
I think Houston wins 2. And I only say that because, one, they got to go through Cole game 1. And he's just been a different monster this postseason. Like, he pitched well with the Pirates in postseason play.
Let me ask you a question. You think so? If Cole goes out and gets the win in Game 3, and then they drop Game 4, do you think that they might pitch Verlander for Game? Do you think they might pitch Verlander for
I
Game?
don't think so.
5
I think it'll still be Greinke.
to try to
I
get
think
the win.
Greinke will pitch game 4.
They're already talking about doing bullpen games, Game 4.
But why?
Or would you want to save Cole?
I don't
and
know.
or would you
headline
want to
popped up
save
before.
Cole and Verlander for home?
You got to get the win. No matter what it is. You don't save anything. You pitch your best. Like, I don't know who their 4 is right now. Probably Brad Peacock, in my opinion. That's probably who it would be. But I think if you can... Greinke's had a few days rest. I think you go Cole, Greinke, back to Verlander. I don't think you mess around. Especially not with the Yankees.
And then if you're... Yeah, I get that. I understand that.
I mean, the Astros are in an ideal situation because you have, 3 really good pitchers, and the Yankees can, they can knock it out. It's evident. It's kind of the blueprint for their success is, they're gonna hit the ball out of the ballpark as many times as they can, and I think you have the best defense against that with those 3 guys. So this is a very exciting matchup, and I think this is kind of like something we wanted for, I don't know, the better part of 2 seasons.
I think if the Yankees beat Cole, I think they'll beat Greinke again. Then whatever. Then Verlander throws Game 5. Okay, but if they the big one will be if they can beat Cole in that first game at Yankee Stadium. Kind of just kill the momentum, take the series lead again.
Now, I think more people would be willing to predict this game. Would you guys think it's fair that more people are willing to predict that the Astros-Yankees go 7 games than the Yankees winning it in 5? Right?
Yeah.
So do you think this is going to hurt? Do you think this series probably going 6 games or so will hurt the Nationals, who are kind of riding a hot hand right now and looking like they have all the potential in the world to close out the NL in another game, and then they're going to have a lot of rest?
That's what I predict.
I think that's going to be bad for them.
That's what I'm saying. You think
That's
it's
what
going to
he's
hurt the
saying.
Nationals, right?
Yeah, they need to continue
Well,
playing.
you see that in almost any sport. I mean, you see it, any sport with 7-game series. But, I mean, too much rest is almost bad. But, I guess you see it in the NFL, too. Like, those teams that get their first-round bye
Not
and then
always
just
a good
come
thing.
out wicked flat. It's...
I think the Nationals right now, they're on an entirely, adrenaline. Everything is going their way.
Well,
if they have to wait,
If
I
you
think
keep
that's
in
going to be
mind, too, like, baseball, especially for pitchers, for an entire season, they're on a schedule. It's you pitch, 5 days later you pitch, 5 days later you pitch. Like, you get in that rhythm. And the postseason is not built for that. It's just you go from a 5-man rotation, usually to a 3, and the way series ends and so on. So these guys, their timing gets completely thrown out. And you see it affect people. I mean, even what was it, last night or the night before with Paxton? I mean, they were saying he had like an extra 2 days, and he didn't look good.
Yeah.
Every batter was a first pitch ball, and it's it messes people up in the playoffs.
I'll put a 3-shot bet for anyone who would like to go. I'm going to go that Houston celebrates on Yankees.
You think they take
field.
all 3?
I think they take all 3. I think the rest is just what they need, and they
Take
just
it.
I don't want to take because then
I mean,
it'll happen.
Listen, if it's over for me if the Yankees win on tomorrow night.
I'll take that bet.
You want to do it, Souls? All right.
Nationals are winning it all, baby.
Ugh, I hope not. What a bummer.
How angry do you think Bryce Harper is?
I don't think he cares.
I don't know about that
Why would he?
because he's an ego guy.
He got the money though.
No, I understand, but I mean,
But it's more about the money than just with him.
but listen, every year he was in Washington, they would make the playoffs, lose in the first round, and he had to take the heat for it. And now he left, and the Washington Nationals were not supposed to make the playoffs this year.
Yeah.
And
I
made
said
the-
they would.
I know, but that was
Go
a team.
back. I said they would.
It was a team that was not supposed to make the playoffs, and now they're a game away from the World Series without him.
I think he's upset about it.
And the team he went to missed the playoffs. So there's got to be some type of
That's human nature. I don't know anyone who would be just fine with it.
he's got to be feeling some type of way.
But in the mindset of what I would think is, it's more about where his family is than where he is.
Well, I don't think he's fuming. I don't think he's walking around with a bottle of gin.
No, I think, but I agree. I think it does bother him that they were never able to make that next step, and the Nationals are doing it without him.
He was the guy there for what? How long was it? 10 years? 9 years?
I don't know. It was a while.
It's amazing that he was only 26.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Tom Crabtree.
It's amazing that he's only 26 years old. He's been in the league for 9-10 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because he came up right at 18. Because I'm pretty sure it was the year after I graduated high school. So it's 2011.
He didn't even hit his prime yet.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
But that's what I mean. It's got to kind of bug him somewhat mentally that the Nationals had good teams when he was there, and they couldn't
Better
get it
than
done.
this one.
Yeah, and they couldn't get it done, and now this
But they
team is
didn't
going
have
to
the
be.
pitching they do now.
They still
Right.
had Scherzer
But-
and Strasburg. What do you mean?
They didn't have the third option. That third option's key.
But still, I mean, they had good teams. They were a team consistently winning the
And
division.
they never had the bullpen.
But they were still consistently winning the division.
Yeah, I agree. But it just didn't have the other pieces. You can win a division by not having the best team. The Twins did it this year. The best team in that division, probably still the Indians. They were just ridiculed with injuries.
Riddled with that.
I said ridiculed. You know what?
I know you.
You guys
Kyle, I
are
love you.
all douchebags.
What did I do?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Kendall was just like,
It was.
You know what?
We're having a great show.
Come here. You guys all pissed me off.
Kyle,
What
why
are
are you getting
you
mad?
getting mad for?
Oh,
Kyle,
making
you-
fun of the fat kid.
Your point.
We're all the
You're
fat
fatter
kids.
than me.
We're all...
point. No one was making fun of you. You're just
Nah,
saying
Kendall's got a
words for it.
gut. Kendall's got a gut. Kendall's a fat kid. He's
Effort
just
is
tall.
make a field goal. You're my best hope.
I like my nuggets.
So is Rebecca.
Anyways, my point is, the Indians had the best team in that division this year
But
until they lost.
I agree.
I think we're having a lot of good discussions, and we haven't really touched on hockey. So you guys want to just chill out another hour real quick, just bang out hockey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, if there wasn't the other hour aspect,
you know, I've actually paid a
You know,
lot.
I
more
gave the
hockey
thumbs up to
interest
Mock to
than
do that as a prank to Rebecca, and he was just like, "Oh, you know, nah, fuck him. I'm gonna go ahead."
I'm going to be honest with you. I saw him doing the hand signal, didn't know what they meant. I thought for sure he was like doing the I'm going to get Kyle mad thing.
I would've get mad.
I don't know. I didn't know what he was
going
going
to
to do.
attention to hockey.
Kyle, I didn't know it was hockey related. We were
Right.
talking Bryce Harper, and I thought for sure Paul's like,
You know what?
I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him.
I talked shit about Bryce Harper, but you know what? It wasn't their fault this year.
What are you talking
They'd
about?
be in the playoff. They probably would have beat the Nationals.
What?
Yeah. Said it here first, folks. I mixed my name and folks together.
Did you say you said it here or you heard it here?
Both. I said
you
it.
said you said it here.
I said it here.
Say it here first. I'll say it later tomorrow. All right.
When
Well,
we get Joe Girardi, we'll be in good shape.
so we were gonna do Jeopardy next week.
But now we're not.
I don't know. Are we gonna have a full show?
Yeah, I'll be here.
Well,
Sure,
I
we're
think
not.
we're all going to be here, but are we doing the draft?
Yeah, but we could do that, like,
That's on your phones.
Oh,
We're not doing a live draft.
and then, like, we'll have an extra 2 people to do the Jeopardy game.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna do the Jeopardy game then.
Why not?
It's just not. We'll do it the following week.
All right.
I wanted it to be you 4. So can I get commitment from you guys?
Yeah, I'll be here.
No.
Unless my, like, ball sack rips open,
That's not an excuse.
then I'll be here.
I want you to look behind you and I want you to see what that man's eyes are
What
saying.
up, Jay?
Yeah, that guy's awesome. Guy's smoking Jay.
Smoking Jay.
Go look at his Instagram. He has an Instagram. It's called If Jay Had an Instagram. He posted a photo where he photoshopped his own face onto one of the old Marlboro ads, and he just captioned it "Smoking Jay." It's the best. Beer reviews, gentlemen, souls.
Super Sunshine, really good.
Where does it rank in your favorite beers all time?
4.
Behind Super Duper Double Citra.
Too juicy, and Ferris.
What?
It ranks above the Ninja Unicorn beer.
Yeah, that beer was all right.
You loved that beer when you had it.
Yeah, but that was
Look, this is really good.
I forgot
Surprised you like it. Bryce Harper.
I forgot what it tastes like.
Red Baron, I know you're itching to get to this fucking beer review. You love it.
I love it. I love the book.
Yeah, I know.
Monks IPA
Maxine?
from Spencer's, Massachusetts. 6.3%. I don't know the price. Riddler got it, I'm pretty sure. Golden
What
color.
doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a good guy. Bready, floral aromas, similar flavor profile.
He pulls all these out of his ass. He's just like, this one looks... I haven't
Start
checked this.
checking boxes.
Yeah, the way when he checks off the flavor boxes, it's like when he does those bubble-in tests, where he's like, I haven't picked pee in a while.
That is a part of it. And my aroma and flavors almost always match because that's just how sensory works. Very tasty. I was very
What do you
impressed by
mean?
this beer.
Have you ever drank a good bourbon?
Yes.
So then you would know the nose and the palate produce 2 completely different things.
Yeah, but I mean, there is a similar, there is a linking aspect of all those things.
But they shouldn't be the same.
Well, no, but I mean, I wish there was more options.
There's another.
Well,
What does it sound like?
yeah.
Yeah.
Smooth. It is oddly heavy though. But I give it 4 stars and absolutely would get again. A sleeper.
Prove it.
I was surprised how good it was.
Will you get it again or he get it again?
No, I would get it again.
Are you sure?
I would.
You don't like to buy your own beers.
Wow.
Kyle, not having this
Kyle
conversation.
coming with the heat.
Not having this conversation.
Just naming facts, man.
Kyle, let me put it.
You call me fat every other week. So.
What? When have I ever called you fat?
Pat.
Nugent Hopkins got
Pat.
this.
Mock, tell him.
Kyle, you still owe me $100. No,
Let me
you
tell you
do.
something.
You were drunk when you said it, but you still owe me $100.
Here's how the show goes.
Wish
Ready?
you were Pat.
Riddler has provided he's provided 93% of the craft beer on this show. Bar none. 93%. I'd even venture to say
I buy my
94.5%
own.
for this show. Listen, we've been doing this show for a very long time. As beer bought in majority, I provided 71%.
False.
Yes, any 30 rack, anything bought in abundance was purchased by me. So lay off, guy.
Who drank most of it?
Get better at drinking.
I don't want to.
Number 2, Infinite Universe, back east,
As he knocks
Connecticut.
back a private suck.
I'll drink you in Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
Get ready, Souls.
Oh my. Shots
ready,
fired.
Whoever drink the most beers.
Souls,
Now, hold on. If I drink more than you take 5 shots of the private.
Souls, get ready. You're going to be pooping your brains out.
Oh my.
Do you accept?
Get ready, Souls.
Say accept.
I accept.
You want to know something hilarious? Rebecca is in for such a terrible ride home now. Can you believe this guy?
You get ready,
He's gonna
Souls.
grab beers out of the fridge. Like, I gotta start prepping now.
I've been training.
Kendall, I think the only way you could honestly beat him is if you drank 14 beers a day until we went to Pittsburgh.
You're absolutely right.
Also, if you
And I think
pee
you should.
first,
I think you should do it within an hour before bed.
That's not a
Yes,
rule.
it is. I just
Don't pee though.
Kyle, you can't say if you pee first you
He
win.
broke the seal.
No.
I changed my mind about going. I don't want to witness
Shut up,
this.
Mass.
Are you serious? This is going to be the best thing we've
This is
ever
gonna happen
done.
like 8:30
Hold on,
at
hold
night.
on, hold on. The staring contest was the best thing.
That was a lot of
witnessed.
fun.
I only
went on
had
for
a
like
staring
10
contest
minutes.
that lasted over 10 minutes.
Mass, this is gonna
We were
happen
both
like
crying
8:30 at
blood
night.
I think that was the same trip that the Steelers lost, Mets lost.
when you ate the cigarettes.
Ate
Yeah,
the cigarettes,
probably.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, that's pretty
It
much
was a
how
rough
that
day
went.
for Kendall.
I think it was the same trip. I could be wrong.
I'm sorry, what?
It was.
Anyway, beer reviews.
I actually like a lot of back east beers. They're all pretty good. This was awesome because it was kind of like for an IPA, it was like oddly like a creamy, which is not something a guy should say, but it was kind of creamy tasting. And 3 stars, absolutely would get again. Earthy floral aroma, citrus flavor.
What beer is it?
I don't know.
So Kendall, as he just mentioned, had one of my Infinite Universes.
Also having this Oktoberfest, awful beer.
And as he said, from back east here in Connecticut, this might be one of the best beers I've had. This beer is very good. I'm not getting the
Well, if it's one of the best mocks had, I'm probably gonna hate it.
I'm not getting the creamy aspect, but I see what he means.
I don't see it. It tastes like butt cheeks. But I
That,
like butt
that
cheeks,
beer is
so
fantastic.
It's good.
It's got the good citrus taste to it. It's not overly heavy. That beer is very good.
I thought you tried
That's actually pretty good. I like that.
Shut up, Mass.
I'm a big fan of Mass because every time someone reviews a beer that he's currently got, this is what he does. Everyone just watch me. This is what he does every time. Yep, like it.
Yeah, not too shabby.
It's not a Coors Light, but I do enjoy this beer very
Mass,
much.
he'll be ready to
The beer's
buy
about
one.
as about
Steel
as creamy
IPA.
as Bud Light.
I would
I
buy
was
this
tempted.
almost any time I saw it in a store.
Yeah.
Mass, Chris Mazzy,
Top 2.
what do you got?
So I had the Twisted Monkey from Victory Brewing.
Careful.
Brass Monkey,
My mate.
Motown Monkey.
Surprisingly, actually really enjoyed this beer.
Shut up, Mass.
Give it 3.5 to 4 stars. Like
Wow.
I'd definitely buy this again. I'd take 2 6-packs of this and crunch it in a weekend. Hey, listen, that's a lot for me.
For the listeners,
What's
we
funnier,
have
that
3
that
weeks.
Mass is kind of like the new Souls, or that Souls tries to like treat Mass like he's the Souls?
Hey, we have 3 weeks.
Shut up, Mass!
This show's been amazing.
We have 3 weeks until Pittsburgh.
Yes.
We're not going. Maybe
Guys,
we're
Connor
going.
Barwin retired.
What team did he play for?
The last played for us.
I don't know.
He didn't play for GSWD. We cut him a long time ago.
I had 3 beers today. I started off with the Little Juicy from Two Roads, the DDH NEIPA.
Backwards?
The APIENHDD.
I think that's it.
You guessed.
More impressive Souls. Pretty good. I like it. I know Mock's not a fan, but I like the Little Juicy, citrusy, floral,
It's good beer.
hazy. Love it. Third, I had the Firefly Hollow Oktoberfest beer. It smelt and tasted the same, which was nothing.
Wait, hold on. What's the first thing you think of Fireflies?
Vibe with me, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta say it.
It's terrible. This beer is fucking atrocious. This is the worst Oktoberfest. This might be the worst beer I've ever had.
It's pretty goddamn bad.
I would rather drink Genesee Light that's been microwaved than drink this. But in the second tier, I had Boulevard Steep Drop, which is a nitro coffee milk stout, which I thought was fucking bomb. It was really good. It was missing a little bit of that like kind of chalky creaminess that you expect from these, but pretty flavorful, nice coffee aromas to it, not too crazy on the coffee taste. The nitro really kicked into it. The milk stout made it nice and velvety. I liked it a lot. I would give that one. The Little Juicy, I would give a solid 3 stars. I would get it again. It's not going to be my first beer choice, but I would drink it. The Firefly Hollow Oktoberfest would give -2 stars. Would burn if found. And the Steep Drop from Boulevard, I'd give it 4 stars. Absolutely would get it again. And if I didn't say before, the Firefly Hollow Oktoberfest, -2 stars would burn if found.
I one time put like a hard candy in vodka to try to make a flavored vodka.
It was a Starburst.
When I took a sip of this, that's the first thing I got.
That was a Starburst.
I had never experienced that thing again
That was pretty funny.
until tonight.
Where can they find us on social media?
Well,
Can they find us on Spreaker?
we're on Spreaker right now.
What about on Spreaker?
But you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Getting Sports with Drunk.
Also Spreaker.
Twitter is GSWD_4.
Make sure to use the hashtag GSWD for all your daily uses, whether it's drinking shitty Oktoberfest beer or using made-up vocabulary in the Soul's Dictionary of Life.
Also Spreaker.
Hey, I tried.
Subscribe
Spreaker.
on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Spotify.
On Spreaker.
Be sure to check out the Peter Pino Show Wednesday night here on PPRN from
And
7:30 to 10:30.
Which Souls will not be on.
Thank you for that.
Like we gave like that announcement, like he's usually on it, but this week it's like a no-go for him.
I'm holding out.
So it's always welcome. Well, everyone's always welcome.
Souls, why don't you tell us about your achievement today?
Yeah, so I'm at work today, right? And I broke a record. And
What's that record?
can you fucking let me talk?
He discovered the smoked salmon Whopper.
Oh,
We had a bus
Smoke
today.
Salmon King.
We had a bus. They ordered $385 worth of food. Let me tell you something. They could have just fucking did it single-handedly. It would have been a lot better. But the dumbasses let one person pay because they probably won at the casino.
You know what, guys? I hit the Willy Wonka big time. I got Burger King.
Fucking horseshit.
Hit
was
it on
the
the
final
way
bill?
home. Rodeos for everybody.
was it like a bunch of individual orders, or somebody just
No,
ordered
it was
like,
one big order. 20 number 2 with cheese.
How much was it? You said
Which
385.
awesome because they're all meals,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
It was 40 fries and 40 drinks.
Did you fuck it up?
No, dude, I made it. It took me like a half hour.
So,
because
yeah.
I kept running out of meat. I couldn't take everything from drive-through. I'm not a
Can you imagine a
degenerate.
bus just fucking pulls up to the drive-thru?
All I think about is me.
That's right, beaker.
How is it served in a bulk order? Do you have like a big bulk paper bag?
Anchovies!
How do you serve a big order like that? Like, is it a big bulk paper
I
bag.
had a $300 order and fucking
I
drive.
believe it's going to be the same bags, just a lot of.
because
Basically, just tell them to go pick something out of the dumpster. It's on them.
Help yourself, guys.
they're not assholes in drive-through.
So speaking of fast food and dumpsters,
I was behind my local Wendy's.
They actually voted the worst fast food restaurant
Wendy's?
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
you know why? You know why?
because they fuck up every order.
Every location
I've
is
never
either
had a thing messed up there.
every location is either hit or miss. The one in Middletown, I've never had anything bad ever happen in order. The one in Wallingford, I've never once gotten what I've asked for.
Yeah, Walford's bad. Really
Ever.
bad.
Anyway,
Reward number 2.
Nice.
your location specifically.
Nah, my location sucks.
What was one?
McNaldo's.
McDick's.
Because that's bullshit.
do you guys have a rivalry with McDonald's? Does that exist?
I mean, I don't really give a shit, but people do.
I think the people not
Do you know how
working
many
there-
times we've picked Kyle up at Burger King and go directly to McDonald's?
Yeah. A lot. Over under, real quick. We'll go around the room. Mass knows how to. What do you think's like the about amount of times that when you've picked Kyle up from work, you've either taken him to Taco Bell or McDonald's after work?
Kyle and I have always been pretty heavy Taco Bell users.
Well, what's the number?
over
Yeah,
under
so we'll
80.
say Taco Bell's heavier. So like, how many times do you think you picked Kyle up from work, and how many times do you think resulted in a Taco Bell trip?
I would
Over under 80.
Are you kidding me?
80, like lifetime?
Over
I
under
ate at
800.
Kibble a lot.
So if you're doing over under 80, it was over 80 last calendar
I was
year.
gonna say. Well, at
All right,
least
so
for Paul.
last calendar year.
Yeah, for sure, Paul.
All right, so last calendar year.
So what happens when you bang his
Over
cousin?
under 120.
Tell you what, Nick's got a sweet ass.
in the scenario you're providing, where I'm picking up Kyle and we're going to a
In
restaurant,
the last
No,
calendar
Taco Bell or McDonald's
or
specifically.
we don't,
year. Is it over under
it,
120?
it comes to this exact number. We go 100% of the time to Taco Bell.
So you think you picked Kyle up from work more than 120 times?
Yeah.
All right.
And we have never gone. We've always gone to Taco Bell. That's
Mock,
kinda
what about
like
you?
our
What do you
thing.
think?
I'm sorry, what was the number?
So what's the over number for Mock? He's picked Kyle up from work more than Kendall has.
150.
Well, here's the thing.
Taco Bell or
A lot of it's softball.
I was gonna say because I picked Kyle. I brought Kyle home more from events versus work.
No, but you picked him up from work to go, like, to hang out or to go to the event. So, not necessarily you had to eat McDonald's, but how many times, like, if you picked Kyle up from work to go to a softball game because, like, you stop at McDonald's real quick?
Well, it's different because we usually go to
You know
Five
what?
Guys or Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Yeah,
usually
see,
Five
for me-
Guys or Jersey Mike's.
For me, it's the McDonald's Taco Bell thing is still very high, but the Cumberland Farms rib sandwich comes into play a lot, too. Kyle has been specifically requesting that a lot. I would say
Not recently. You haven't been coming.
you haven't been asking.
Jared does.
Jared from Subway, man.
Now, if you're talking about Jared, every night he brings me home.
Yeah, but not even close to the numbers we touch.
No.
Kyle, you have to understand that from, let's go June of 2018 to April 1st of 2019, I picked you up every Wednesday and Saturday night, and we went to Taco Bell after every single visit. Or McDonald's. McDonald's if you had to stay late. Because Taco Bell closes at 1.
This is fucking bullshit.
I would say my numbers probably are right around 2. 2 to 250. Somewhere in that range.
2,000.
With the occasional diner mixed in. And not the good diner.
I still have not been to the diner with you guys.
I kind of want a rib sandwich now.
I think we don't pass the companies, though. All right, so pretty much sums it up. Next week, we're going to do the NBA draft here. We're going to have special guests on, maybe 2. So I don't know what we're going to talk about. We'll probably wrap up we'll do some more MLB postseason talk.
We'll be on Spreaker.
We'll be on Spreaker. We'll probably definitely do some NFL breakdown. We'll come up with some stories and shit to talk about. Anybody here wants to come up with something they'd like to do a little segment on? More than willing. You guys have plenty of time. Unfortunately, I have to total up some scores off the air because the Packers-Lions game is not over yet, so we don't know what Kendall's final score stands at. But we'll announce what divisions everyone had last week and where they finished. But yeah, pretty much until then, I guess wraps it up. I'm your hostess, Cupcake the Riddler.
Mark.
Shane Washable.
I'm the bad guy, Souls.
The Master's Mask.
You're the bad guy, Billy Ellis Souls.
And I'm the Red Baron.
Yeah.